Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, how are you?
Good. I was waiting for the commercial.
I know. I feel like JR, maybe I don't know. He's the star of the commercial, so I would think he would want to play it like more.
Watch, as soon as we start talking, it's going to cut us off like
It's too early, but that's okay. My gym workout was phenomenal. Before I went home, I decided to stop over at my mother's house. I haven't seen my mother in 2 months. I know she's going to be very surprised to see me. I can't wait. What the? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The first thing I noticed was this person's skin. What is going on? Uncomplicated, untreated skin? Who is this guy? I had to take a step back But then I realized it was my brother. But look at his skin. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? I had to take a closer look and figure out what was going on. Best believe I crept up on him. Peep this. I'm still looking at his skin trying to figure out how did we get here. I could do nothing but shake my head. He could definitely use my help. I had to get to the bottom of this. He definitely needed some game about his skin. I'm just staring at it like looking at it. Come on, bro. I knew what to do. I had to reach in my bag and get that Tej Hanley.
Bruh.
Uncomplicated skincare for men. Bro, this is why I'm excited to have Tej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. They have helped me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like you and me. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and the grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night.
Yes, sir.
My brother was so excited. My favorite part about Tej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. Shout out to Tej Hanley. And because Tej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description, and not only will you get Tej Hanley for the best possible price, but they'll also give you a free gift with your first box. Click that link and get started today. Just $30. My God. Feel the Tej. Let the Tej force be with you.
Oh my
God.
I see there were some new, ad libs or something in the commercial. Or
yeah, I saw that. I thought that was very interesting. That's all I can say.
Oh my God.
What?
He is something else. He really is. But
Yeah.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited about today's show. How are you?
I'm okay. It's a lot been going on in my life. Trying to keep it together, but I'm here. So yeah, but I'm excited about the topics too, because I think it's an important conversation, and I think it could go a lot of different directions. So
yeah, most definitely. I mean, I know that we usually kind of take things the relationship route, which we will get into, but just like at the base of our first question, let's get into it from a non-relationship standpoint, just to kind of, get into it a little deeper. So is perception reality? What do you think, Kayla? Because I have been thinking about this question for a very long time, like my whole life, I feel like.
Really? What do you mean your whole life?
Like, it's a very philosophical type of question. Like, what is reality? What is perception? Like, there's a lot of a lot of people research. There's a lot of things about perception and reality, and the way just people perceive things around them, the differences in perception, and that even the difference between manslaughter, not to get all dark, but the difference between manslaughter and first degree murder are totally different based on the perception, even though the reality is that the person died either way. So there are huge differences between results or the way people take things based on their perception, even if the reality is the same. So it's okay, it's perception reality. But then on the other hand, there are certain things that are observable that people can't agree on. So what do you think about that? And yeah, we'll get into it there.
I think that's really interesting because I think a lot of people believe that their perception is the only perception that there is. I don't think that's necessarily the case. Wait, hold on 1 second.
Oh no. Okay.
Sorry, someone in my background was just really loud and I didn't want that to impede our moments. So,
Oh, I thought it was the internet. I was about to say,
no, girl. But no, I really did get a new extender. So I know everyone's going to talk about my internet. I got a new extender. So if that's still not going to work, then I'm just going to switch. But that's what they offered me for now to try to fix the issue. I live back, back in the cut. But yeah, so this is a really interesting topic, especially as someone that studies sociology in terms of like how things are perceived societally, or how things should be perceived based on like whatever societal constructs we have created, and how that differs from like what people feel and what people versus the overall construct that I don't know who, when, hundreds of years ago have put on us. So I think, again, we do go the relationship route, but I think that that's an interesting route because that can affect everything, whether we're talking about politics, whether it's talking about relationships, family, all of it. It affects all of those things, I think. And I think that's where a lot of miscommunication also happens, because people perceive things one way, and then the person feels that people are perceiving them another way. And then the reality could be completely different and not be either one of those. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's like a really actually kind of deep kind of thing. It really is.
right. And that's why, so somebody said like, wait, let me see if I can find that comment. But somebody said like, that's not perception, it's laws in terms of the like manslaughter versus murder one thing. And I mean, of course, there is law, but it's based on the perception of the people on the jury, the perception of the judge, the perception of the people, the lawyer, like everyone involved in that trial is going based on what happened, what are the actual details, and then their perception of it. That's why there is a jury
Exactly.
to come to deliberate, right? So, I mean, laws are built, some laws are built off of that perception.
Well, with that, I really think that they don't understand that the perception is what makes it a difference between first degree and manslaughter, because it's the perception that the jury and that the judge have of the evidence in terms of what your intention is. Our perception on what your intention is, and our perception on if that's true based on the evidence provided and based on what position you're saying, whether you're saying I'm guilty or not guilty or whatever you're pleading. So it's definitely perception based on evidence, based on the societal norms set for what we think somebody would do in this situation, and how that probable cause could either be premeditated or not premeditated.
Exactly.
So it's all perception.
Exactly. And
but
like
it's still someone still dies at the end.
And that's the part that's reality, right? I mean, you can't be in someone's head to know their intention or whatever. Not to, yeah, but you can't be in someone's head to know their intentions with certain things all the time. You gotta, build it in your own mind based on what you've seen, patterns that you know about, and I'm talking about just in regular life now, not like a trial situation. And then you have to come up with a perception. So when we think about perception, a lot of people are like, no, perception is just your thing, and it can't be reality. Or yes, perception is reality. I think it's such an interesting question, because both are kind of true, right? So me and you can look and say, something is observable. We both perceive it the same way. But we can see another situation and we can have completely different thoughts on it based on our upbringing, based on our experiences of the past, based on, who we are, where we live, etc. So when I just think about, humans as social beings, perception has a lot to do with, I guess, the results. So like reality is the same. Like reality, certain things are just what they are. But people's perception of those things are where the huge difference comes in, when people have different thoughts on things.
And I think we've had so many conversations, whether it's here or on Let's Talk, about perception. Like even when we were talking about like remember the Leonardo DiCaprio debate? That whole thing is perception. What we perceive, a hug, a look, what these like the personal, like, I don't know, that's just perception. Everybody had a different perception of what that looked like. Some people said it looked like just a friendly conversation. Some people said it looked like she was trying to have, wanted to have relations with him based on a look, So everybody's perception of things are differently. And I've also noticed that moving into Florida as well, that perception is a lot different here. Like in the North, where a lot more business things take place, it's perfectly normal for like men and women to like interact. But down here, like simple interactions between men and women in certain communities can be seen as like inappropriate. It doesn't even matter what the conversation is at all. Whereas like in places in the North where people do a lot of networking and working together, I don't know, like just the perception of like the exact same thing is different depending on the region, just based on my personal experience and living in different places. So yeah, I think it's very interesting, but I don't think people will ever concede the fact that their perception isn't always the only one, and or whatever their perception of something is may not be that. Like some people cannot even like fathom.
Oh, I know. Like some people cannot even just grasp the concept that someone else can truly feel differently than they do about the same topic. And that's okay. Like just because it's not the same as you or whatever doesn't mean that it's wrong. Like I've been in situations mainly on the internet where people will say I'm wrong about something and it's my opinion. And I'm like, how can that be wrong? Mm-hmm. It's just an opinion. Your opinion is yours, mine is mine. And it's not about right and wrong. It's just about how you think of this thing versus how I think of this thing. So, I mean, no, go ahead.
But then they'll say, oh, but the data says this. Oh, but the facts say that. And while you can say, okay, I understand that, unless we're talking about like money or specific numbers or like historical context, which is still debatable based on the source, facts don't always impact it the same. Like doesn't impact people's experience or their opinion on how they want to move around it the same. So I think that is another part where people who think that they have a lot of like information can say, if you say, okay, this is what I think about family relationships or whatever, if this person can say, well, the data says that, or by this age you should be because society's, or because who said, right? Like because who gave us this box that you have to be in, and how everyone has to conduct everything in themselves and how they do everything, and that there is a right and wrong in that. Now, when it comes to abuse or like the dramaticals, obviously we're on the same page about that, but more so everyday interactions, everyday opinions. I was just having a really deep conversation with my brother and a good friend of mine, and most of the stuff that I say on this show, they like agree with. And so I'm like, I get that there are like people out here that I'm not crazy. There are people out here that wholeheartedly have the same perception that I do on a lot of issues. So, there's that.
So I want to bring up a comment. Someone said DeAndre Cummings said, that's the stupidest thing ever. That means no one is ever wrong. That's really not what that means, DeAndre. It actually means that in some instances, things are they're just incorrect. If I say the earth is a cube, I am incorrect. That is not an opinion. But if I say I love the rainy weather is awesome, that is an opinion, and that is neither right nor wrong. That's an opinion. So I hope that clears things up. It's actually a lesson. Let me not say that, because then people are going to think I'm trying to belittle somebody, and I'm not. But
you are a teacher, so it's natural for you to do stuff like that.
Fact versus opinion is a real thing. I mean, opinions are different from facts. If someone says something that is incorrect, that is not an opinion. That's just an incorrect thought that they have. So I hope that helps in terms of differentiating. And absolutely, people are wrong all the time. You know, so it happens. People are wrong sometimes, people are right sometimes, but sometimes it's not a matter of right versus wrong. And a lot of time it's a matter of opinion, depending on the topic, of course.
Yeah. But I think that some people will still say, oh, there is a right and wrong because the results say this, the results say that. But that's also perception. The perception of said results, the perception that these results that you have are viable, are even happy, are even healthy, So when it comes to these opinions, I think people should just let people have them and offer up their opinion and their perspective to see if that impacts someone else. But to tell them that wrong about like opinions about personal things, like I just think it's crazy. Whatever. It's a little nuts.
Kayla,
But
I
yeah.
thought losing you. It froze a little bit, Kayla. I'm getting scared.
Oh my gosh. This is like absolutely the worst thing of my life because I really was on the phone with them and I spent all this time to get this extender box. I'm livid. I'm livid.
What about, well, let's not get all into help desk at this point in time, but like, isn't there a button that you could press that like reconnects? It's that button where it like reconnects things onto your Wi-Fi. It's on the router or whatever it's called. I don't know what
Yes.
I'm talking
It's
about.
a
Do you know,
reset
is that a
button. Yes, it's
Oh.
a reset button, but then it would require, me to shut the whole shit down, which I'm not going to do. I
Oh
think
no.
it'll be okay. I'm
Yeah, I
hoping
think
that
it'll
was
be
just a
okay.
little bit of a tweak, a little bit of a.
I think it'll be okay too. Let's not get you shut
Let's just
down.
speak positivity into Wi-Fi that we are going to speak 5 bars. Show
Yeah,
tonight. I'm going to
speak 5
spoken
bars
over
into
it. I said it. It's done. The Lord's done it for us. Okay, moving on.
existence.
Let's
So
say He grants us some grace.
so we're talking about, opinions. I mean, not opinion. We're not doing fact versus opinion technically. Kind of. We were talking about it. And I guess perception versus reality is very closely related to fact versus opinion. So, okay. But like the next question about that, and we kind of touched on it with the court system thing that we kind of talked about.
Right.
What matters more, what you did or how it's perceived? Now, this is the one that I think can get very much into, personal relationships, friendships, families, romantic relationships, etc. So, what do you think? Or does it matter if you're on the giving end or the receiving end of said thing?
Ah, see, that is what that okay. That's a lot to do with do not do this to me. Okay. Okay. Jesus. Call on his name. Okay.
JR, put the
So,
thing in the chat just in case Kayla gets up out of here
I'm
prematurely.
not going anywhere. No one's
Oh
even in
no.
my house. That's why I said it's like might just need to stop giving them chances to fix it because it's some bullshit. But anyway, I'm sorry. Excuse me, guys. But I was just gonna say I think that the most thing that matters is the relationship between the person. Because I was just talking about this with a good friend of mine, and we're on Clubhouse together a lot. And people say things about like how he speaks, and like I don't perceive any problem with the way he speaks. I like the way he speaks. But then some people say that like the way he speaks is aggressive. And I'm like, it is? Like he's a deep voice and it's just a strong voice. Like, but people perceive it as aggressive and it's like it's literally people's perception. So I can't say that they're wrong, but I also can say that I don't perceive it like that. But I also can say that my perception may be a little bit based on our relationship. But then again, even when we first met, I didn't perceive it that way. So I don't know. It's hard to say because the relationship with the person could impact how you perceive them versus how strangers see them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, so like in your example about the friend with the deep voice and some people perceiving him as being aggressive or whatever, listening to that, I would think that how mm, I guess it depends what you're trying to do. If you're just out and about in the world, minding your business, doing whatever, and you don't care if people perceive you that way, then I guess it doesn't matter. But if this is going to make you miss out on opportunities or, relationships that you might want and things like that, then how you're perceived would matter more. But then comes the question, do you change it? Like, where's there's like I feel like there's a thin line between what you should do to change something that may be perceived a certain way versus like, okay, I'm not going to change that thing because it would be compromising, a certain part of myself. Or maybe that thing is just not, maybe it's not accepted in this circle or this place, but it's fine somewhere else. So
That's
like
exactly what I was going to say. I think that's what it is.
How do you think people should determine that?
I mean, I think Black people are the best at this. We are the queens and kings of code switching. Like, we do it unknown sometimes, just reading the room and understanding like how I may need to come off to be perceived the way that I want to be in this particular space. Knowing the perception of the people in this space. So corporately, you may say something one way, you may say it differently with like your mom, and then you may say it differently with how you talk to your friends, saying all the same thing, but understanding their perception of you as your boss, or their perception of you as their daughter, their kid, or their perception of you as their friend. So those things matter. And then you switch into whatever switch, but it's natural. Like, you adjust based on, that moment with that, whoever that person is. So obviously I switch, talk to my manager, and I talk to my mom, and then when I talk to my friends, it's like, it's natural.
So, okay, I get those groups, talking to your grandma or something versus talking to your friends versus talking to your boss at work. But like, let's say within a friend group, would you ever switch? Or
within my own friend group?
Yes, like within your own friend group. So can you talk about that? Because, and I'm not saying like, let's say one friend group is real chill and likes to hang out at places where you can wear
I mean my immediate friend group.
So how do you switch, and what types of things do you switch on?
Okay, so there are certain people in my friend group that have certain insecurities. So the way that I say things to them may not be the way that I say things to other people within same friend group, because I know that that person has certain insecurities. So I say things differently than I would to another friend, because her and I have a different connection and we see each other differently. So I think that's a perfect example. Actually, it happened the other day, and it was something like that I said to another friend that she took it. Wow, JR is like trolling me. He's trolling me so bad. Do y'all want me to go to the desk? Because this is what y'all want. That's what JR is telling me. He's giving me the.
Oh my goodness. What was Kayla? I think that
such a good rhythm, but go ahead.
No, you were. I wanted to hear more about what you were just saying.
Yeah, okay. So let me finish this and then I'll go plug into the router and sit in the corner like a baby. Okay? And sit in the corner. But all I was gonna say is, because I know my friends and I know that I'm not JR, stop. Because I know my friends and I know how they are, I know that the way that I speak to them, certain ones, has to be different just because I know how they are. So when I'm saying something to and where I was saying like, damn girl, you look like you got ass now. Like, one of my friends would take that as offensive and be like, I've always had ass. And then the other one would take it like, she knows she don't got ass. She would be like, really girl, I know it's getting up there. So their perceptions are just different. So I know I have to like do that different with them. So I don't know. Even in my friend group, the way I do it is different depending on the friend.
Okay, so it's more so like being diplomatic, just kind of, making sure that people's feelings may not get hurt or
But it's
things
but
like
it's
that.
I know how they perceive things. I know how they perceive things. So I move accordingly because I know how they perceive things. Like one of my friends perceives everything as not that serious. And the other one perceives everything as there's a deeper meaning or there's something deeper. You know what I mean? Their perceptions of the world are different. So that's why I deal with them accordingly like that, because I think like that's it works.
So then does that mean that you think that perception is more important in terms of like versus what you are actually doing? Or does that mean that you just care more? I don't know. Like, do you just care more about your friend's perception or do you actually find that more important?
I think how they perceive things is most important. How they perceive it, so that I know how I need to address them. So
Right.
that is why having these real conversations with your friends, understanding who your friends are, understanding who you're in relationship with, understanding how they see things, so that when you communicate with them, you're able to communicate with them at a level where they can get what you're saying, and it's not going to get overshadowed by the way you're saying it or all these other things. You know, that you can just communicate with them in a way that meets how they perceive things, versus saying like, you should perceive the world this way and I said it this way and you should just get it. And it's like, that's not how you really move around if you really care about it. If it's you and your boss, then that's one way. He's saying, listen, this is how I talk, this is how I'm gonna do it, and he pays your bills, so you do that. But like with the people you care about and love, like you make adjustments to each other.
Yeah, because you want the people that you care about to understand what you're saying. And if they may not be able to look past a certain thing, like what's the big deal about just delivering it, a different way?
I don't see
Yeah.
the big deal at all. Do I need to go get on the router now? Is JR sending you any signals?
I don't see anything. I mean, actually I think it's clearing up a little bit.
Really? Maybe.
Oh
Wow.
no. It was, I haven't seen any
Staticky
freezing
movement.
situations. You have been pretty clear for the last couple of minutes, so
We're in the clear, people. We're in the clear. We're in the clear. We're trying. So while we have this moment that I have some clarity, let's go ahead and do some housekeeping notes. You guys make sure you get your tickets to the very, very first live show of Lapeef Let's Talk. It's going to be in Houston, April 23rd at 2 o'clock. We will see you guys there. You can get the link to get your tickets in the bio. There are a limited amount of tickets and half of them are already sold out. So get your tickets. There's also a hotel link with.
Oh no, Kayla. What? Oh my goodness, this is hilarious. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So
Hey, how you doing?
hi, how are you? Oh, there you go,
Uh,
Kayla. I saw
Are
you
you
back there
free?
laughing. Say your name for me so I don't. Bourgeois Daily, is that it? Nah.
Yeah, I go by Bourgeois, but Bourgeois Daily, that's the name of my YouTube channel. Um, yeah, so I'm a big fan of this platform. I've been here multiple times. I know you guys said talk about anything.
Thank you. About what? Internet? Wait,
What
what'd
it
you say?
was the topic? I said, what's the topic is tonight?
It was about JR. It was about, perception and reality and, the differences between the two, which one matters more. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, reality is it is what it is reality, but perception, I guess, is what would you think about perception? What do you think about perception?
I mean, I think that's personal to the person perceiving, right? Like you can see a certain outfit on someone and think it looks horrible. I can see the same outfit and think it looks great. So like we perceive that differently, but the reality is the outfit is the same. You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess it's depending on the person style, is a person um mindset, or like, or should I say a person point of view, I guess. And everybody point of view is different. That's what make the world unique, right? We all is not the same, right? And we, but now is with the internet.
Oh, sorry.
Are you laughing at my accent?
No,
I know.
I would never laugh at your accent. My dad's
Don't worry about it. That's not new to me. You know, people always find it that kind of funny. That's
No,
kind of,
I
that's
laughed.
okay.
I mean, I coughed because I was just coughing. But no, your accent, I would never.
No,
I'm
that's
Nigerian.
okay. Oh, you're Nigerian, but yeah, I'm from Haiti. But I've been here a long time. I can't seem to shake the accent off. But yeah, with
Don't
nowadays
shake
with
your
the
wait, hold on. Don't shake your accent. Be proud of your accent. Keep your accent.
what
I
do you
mean,
mean? Don't be. It's nothing to like ashamed. It's nothing to be proud of. I would love to speak like proper, but you know what I mean. It's nothing I'm ashamed of. But that's it's nothing to be so proud or have an accent or whatever. It is what it is.
yeah, but you said it like I can't shake my accent as if you don't need
Yeah,
to
I
shake
would.
it.
Yeah, I would like to be able to shake the accent with like so people can hear me clearly, because with my accent sometimes it's hard for people to understand me. You know what I mean?
Well,
You know
They
what
can
I mean?
try and they can
it's
listen
not
to
a it's not a hearing thing. It's an understanding thing, and they just have to work through it.
you're very understandable
Thank
to
you so
me.
much. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was trying to say with reality nowadays with the internet um and what everybody try to paint things to be, it's hard for sometimes to know what's reality, right, versus what someone tell you, right? So it's for me, reality is what it is versus what you want to perceive it as, if that makes sense to you.
Did you say reality?
Yeah.
So are you saying reality is what you want to perceive it as?
Yeah, with the internet nowadays, right, you can make it what you want it to be or versus what it is, right? It depends on what reality you try to paint to people,
But then
right?
isn't that perception? Like if you say the dress is ugly, that's your perception. That's not
Well,
reality.
no, well, it's not as perception, but it can be my point of view. I can, like, um you might find something nice, and I might find it ugly. Both things can be true at the same time, because life is not always black and white. Sometimes it can be a little bit gray,
Yeah,
right? That's what
absolutely.
reality is. That's what, so sometimes what re, what may not be reality to you, it might be a reality to somebody else. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so you're saying the perceptions shape what reality is. So
Sometimes.
the social constructs and the things that shapes what reality is versus what could actually be or what people somewhere else might not agree with. So like
Yeah.
I heard you say sometimes. Can you give an example of like a time when what you're saying would not be the case? Because I don't think, I mean, I think it's at this point, it's just like, we're just kind of talking about it a different way. Because, what you're saying, I would consider perception. And then, we can get into that conversation like I would consider, right? So that's my perception. But I know that the word perception, like there's a fact the word perception and the word reality have different meanings. So one could argue that it's not my perception, that it's actually like true, it's observable and it's objective, that those two words mean different things. So like, can you give a example of when, because you said sometimes, so when not?
Okay. We're living in sorry, let me park my phone. We're living in a world where we deal with a lot of um different reality when it comes to racism. So what is racism? What is not racism? Right? Some people might find something racist, and for example, like in our community, right? A group of us might find something cops do we might consider it as racist, while a different group of us from our community may not think that much so, right? It's depend and it's depend how far you think racism is, right? So you like some of us might have a different experience with cap, or maybe we have cap in our family, or like maybe we deal with crime that hurt us. So when somebody say something is criminal because of something that happened to you in the past, that might, you know what I mean, may not want you to see things the way another group of people in our same community may not see it the same way. Do you mean what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You're basically saying, depending on your experience with said
Depending
thing,
on the
that could change your perception of it. So you're saying like that your perception of crime could be changed based on if you have experience being involved in crime or being a victim of crime. Your
victim of
perception of
crime, exactly,
crime
right?
will be
Yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I get what
Because
you're saying. I get what you're saying completely. Yeah.
like or like I'm from a different country, right? Come here, people say, man, cop are racist over here. I see a lot of people from America who say, man, when I've been to Africa, I don't experience racism. Or when I've been to a different black country, I'm like, you not really been to the real Africa. You never been to a real um part of the black country, because I know friends that are from Nigeria or certain part of African culture. They will tell you, like, what will you consider um I forgot what I said. What you consider injustice from cap here is nothing considered what you will experience from what you in Nigeria,
Yeah,
because
because it's a
the
different
system
country.
is so different,
Right.
right? It's so different. Like you're like, man, that's a bucket. That's a, you know what I mean. That's not really, that's nothing. But if you say that to somebody from here, they might look like, oh, you just a coon, or you just camping for white people. Just because you don't, because our experience is so raw from over there. What we see over here is so light. We don't even consider that to that respect, but because our experience is different, you know what I mean, we might say different, you know what I mean.
Yeah, so you're basically saying that you think that people's experience is the main thing that shapes their perception of everything
And
based on
sometimes
their experience with that.
in reality too, and so yeah.
Yeah, obviously technology, but I could fully agree with that, for sure, because it is going to impact how you see something. I think even when we come to relationships, when we're talking about family, all of these things, your experience in these different things is going to shape how you perceive, what opinion you have about the different topics that we talk about, or different things that come up in our community. So your feelings about child support, or your feelings about taxes, or your feelings about all these different things will be shaped. You know, the perception may be different based on the things that you've been through in those said, categories. So I completely agree with you on that one. I gotta give you that one.
All right.
Yeah. Had to give you that one. I appreciate you though for coming up here. It's been a minute since we've seen you.
Well, last time we were talking, and Logic was kind of making fun of me, and he asked me a weird question about, do I like him or something like that, kind of like intimate, like some kind of gay question. And
I
I want to
remember. I remember. It
I
wasn't
want
it
to
wasn't
say,
Was
gay.
that on here?
It wasn't gay.
yeah,
He was just being funny, I think.
I kind of know that's why he was sitting there, like,
Yeah,
and
he
to
was just
say this,
being funny. He
all
was
due
just being
respect to
funny.
gay people, I'm not gay. Yeah,
Like I said,
I don't have
Logic's
a
not
deep
either. I
voice.
think he was just being a little funny.
Yeah, I don't have a deep voice, and I don't want to go too bad because I have gay brother and whatever in my family. I don't want to say anything disrespectful, but I'm, you know what I mean? Just because you don't know somebody real well, you don't want to start jumping into conclusion, have a perception about what you think somebody is and what somebody is not, right? Because
Exactly.
not everybody you met, you think there's something reality again, right? You don't really know me, but you have a perception of what you think I am. But the reality is, what you think I am, that's not what I'm not. You know what I mean? So
So then
yeah,
perception isn't necessarily.
uh,
So then perception's not necessarily reality.
Sometimes. Yeah.
That's what not necessarily means.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and look, you don't have to defend you were saying something like, I don't have a deep voice. You don't have to have a deep voice or any kind of certain voice to be gay or not gay. Like, voices
Yeah,
come
I
Yeah,
was
that's
just
not
trying to
even a thing.
I
You don't
just
even
I
have
just
to
want
explain
to
any
I
of
was
that.
just trying to I was just trying to give him my point of view. I was just trying to explain it. I know. Look, I'm 39 years old. My age, I really do not care about judgment, right? Because like from coming from where I'm coming from, you grow thick skin, man. Like stuff like that don't bother me. But sometimes when somebody wrong, I just try to address it. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
I understand.
Yeah.
Are
Well,
you
thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead.
Look, I thought somebody was blowing the horn. I was like, wait. And
Yeah,
then
he's
there
out in
was
those
the
streets. He
sound.
has to be.
Where
I'm
you
in
at?
my
Like,
car.
are you
Yeah.
He
pulled up
has
on
to
the
be out in
expressway?
the streets.
What?
I said, are you pulled up? Like,
You're out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
were you
I'm somewhere right now. I'm in a parking lot somewhere, so that's why you hear. I'm in a rooftop of a parking. I live in a building, so there's like constantly car in and out. So
oh,
like one of those garage parking. So that's why
We
you
under
hear car
we
coming in and out.
understand. Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I get you.
Usually, sometimes I catch you at my house, but majority time, you're gonna catch me in my car if I catch you guys because I'm always in my car because I gotta run errand, do this, do that. You know what I mean? Because I'm always
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Just definitely be safe out there. I heard those horns and all this beep beep beep. I was like, what's going on? But
No, I'm in a safe. I'm in a good part. I'm in Orlando, Florida, and I'm in a good part of Orlando, Florida.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for taking
Thank
my call.
you.
thank you
Yes,
for
thank you so
supporting.
much. We'll see
All
you.
right, guys. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye.
Hmm.
That was interesting. That was interesting to say the least.
It was like beep beep beep.
Yeah, I always sound like taxis. I'm like, is this dude in New York City? Like, where is he?
Like a large vehicle backing up. Like, that sound? Beep,
Yeah.
beep.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what was going on, but I was just hoping that he pulled over and was safe or something.
Yeah, like
people
no
are
live streaming, streaming and driving. Like, we do not condone that on the Lapeef Network. So just letting y'all know, we would prefer if you were at a safe, solid location before you come on the show. We appreciate you very much.
Absolutely.
What up, JP? Been a minute. How you doing? JP.
Oh.
So JP came to just hang out, but not really talk to us. So.
Oh, there we go. Hi, JP.
You're on mute, JP.
What's up, ladies?
Hey.
How y'all doing? Let me turn on this light here.
What's up, Logic? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Pretty good. The Puka connection. You know what I'm saying? We work on the same wave.
Damn.
Right.
Oh, JP and Logic. What's up?
The Pukas versus the gays. Let's see who's gonna win.
What?
Versus the who?
The K's. Kay and Kayla.
Oh, the K's.
What?
There's no tournament here.
Right. I'm like, what are we talking about?
There's no competition, Mr.
It's
Logic.
not. We're just here to share
Logic.
So Logic. What do you think? Do you believe, like, what matters more to you? People's perception or what's actually happening?
Oh, I think this is a really good question for you, Logic.
Well, I'm going to put it on the banner so you can see it, so we can just have it going across. But what matters more, in your opinion? How or what you did, or how it's perceived?
For me. So you said what matters to me, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Reality. Actually, how it is.
Now I know he didn't donate to your internet, and
he must have. I mean,
and his internet.
He didn't donate to my internet. He needs all his coins for his internet. This is clearly because my issue is that I have a big home, so the internet is far, and it just it's a lot. But Logic, are you back?
Server on my internet?
It was
Yes, you
freezing
cut
a little
out.
bit.
Nah, mine ain't freeze. I got.
You been on my internet? You been on my internet, Logic? That's why it's been slow. You been on my internet? See, look at you, stuck again. And look at JP. See, this is what I'm talking about. People always want to clown me for my internet when clearly other people's internet are terrible. Terrible.
I don't know. Well, maybe whoever doing this broadcast, it might be their internet though.
That's not how.
Whoa!
It might
Hold
be
up.
their
I
internet.
Hold up.
mean, JR roll
Hold
up
up.
on us. Oh my word.
JR, refund Logic back those 2 super chats so you can put it towards his internet.
Nah, those are already for me. Sorry. He's just gonna have to go figure that out.
So am I freezing for real?
You were, but you're good now.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're good now, but you weren't freezing yet.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. Yeah, I see. Look, I got a router just for.
Look, why do we have to do this?
Because I gotta take shots at. You know what I'm saying? It's a short man complex. You know what I'm saying? It's a short man complex. But yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
How
So
tall are you,
that's
Logic? How tall are you?
5'6", 5'5", 5'6".
How tall are you, JP?
5'4".
How tall are you, JP?
5'4".
I don't believe you. How tall are you really?
I'm 5'4".
Okay.
Why don't you believe him? Short kings need love too. Nothing wrong with being short.
There's no way that every single man on the network is under 5'8".
You know why she got to believe it? Because she got to go based off what I tell her. So what we tell her. So that'll be she.
No, I don't. When we get at the live show, we're gonna see what's what.
And then when you get at the live show, then you'll know, see what's reality.
Yeah, I'm real short.
In reality, I'm gonna be taller than everyone.
Yes.
Everyone, except for maybe Q. She might be taller than bigger than me, but I'm gonna be taller than everyone, like everybody.
JP, if you don't sit down, what you doing?
Why y'all both getting up? What's going on?
Huh?
I'm not getting
see
up.
your height through the screen. It doesn't work that way.
Nope.
I'll have to come to the live show so we can really see what's what. I think that's going to be interesting. But back to the question at hand. Now, you said reality, Logic. So you're saying what you did or what the person did is what matters most, not the perception of what people think, right?
Yeah, I don't care about like what people think. I don't care about what people's perception is. But yeah, we should all focus on reality. Because we get mixed up with perception and we don't take time to see what things really occurs. Whether you want to deal with relationships, whether you want to deal with like picking employees that you work with. And I learned from this. I picked the secretary because she looked decent compared to the other ones that I had. And then the reality is she made my job horrible. I perceived that she'd come to the office and bring up the spirit. But yeah, we make mistakes like that all the time. And then I'm gonna give a caveat. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. And this the horrible thing. And y'all got a perfect scenario between this. But think about this. During the last election for the president, right? We perceived a lot of things based on one candidate. They told us it was reality. And then now we looking at it, how it all falls out. When are we going to speak up and say, you know what? We did that man partially. Oh, she dropped off. She don't want to hear that. All right.
No, I had to cough. I've like been coughing. I started to I was coughing.
Go on, Logic. Don't
You
worry
see
about
how people can actually, with media and everything, they can control your reality because a lot of times most black people ain't gonna do no research. They're not.
Wait a minute. Logic. I have to say something because right now you just talked about how you're all about reality. Reality was that I just went off screen, and the reality is I had to cough. But you said, "Oh, she don't want to hear that," which was your perception.
No. I went when I followed up. I wasn't talking about you.
Only went based on reality, and if you were only thinking based on reality, you would have just been like, "Oh, okay, went off screen," and there would have been no other thought.
When you came on and you said you had cough, I continued the conversation. So I was talking about actually how the Black culture had approached that whole situation, and nobody is willing to take accountability for what actually occurred. Everybody had translated and formed our reality. They put out things that was out there that didn't exist. And because people didn't research, somebody's perception became it became the reality of a nation. Give you another example, right? Did you hear this on CNN? The CNN said that the January 6th, when they raided the Capitol, they said a cop got hit upside the head with a fire extinguisher. He died. Did you hear that story?
Yeah.
All right. So that was our reality because we get it from these media and everything. And then it came out to be false, and then nobody cleared it up. So for some people, that's still reality.
Yeah, and so for some people, that's the full reality. Even when we talk about the pandemic and certain things that were going on, people still have a misconception and a warped perception of like what that really was and what was really happening over these past 2 years. But I think that's a combination of lack of information, also mixed with people's already preconceived notions of everything.
And
people have preconceived notions of this country and how we do things in here. And if what's it called? The food, the people that monitor the food, who are they again?
FDA.
Yeah, if the FDA said blah blah blah, then that means blah blah blah. And I'm like, so you telling me you think the FDA has never put out any false information?
Right. And I want to.
But that's their perception, that the FDA and that the government would never lie to us. They would never tell us something that's not true.
But that's the perception, though, Kay, because and I'm sorry, Jay Prince, but for the masses, that is reality. For the masses, they will go along with that, and that becomes reality. A narrative could be spent, and it will become reality. So, yeah.
And I want to say, when the topic is what matters more, what happens to what you did or how it's perceived. I think integrity matters. However, though, perceptions has been more valued than your integrity. A lot of stuff that people do behind closed doors, that's integrity. What would you do when nobody ain't looking? And your perception of people. Oh, shit.
You got a house phone, Jay Prince?
No, this is my daughter's
people
tablet.
Still have house
phones? my daughter got a tablet, and she done downloaded some type of phone.
I thought she done downloaded some kind of phone.
I don't know who the hell calling her at damn 9 o'clock at night.
I was about to say,
check that in once I get off. Yeah, I'm about to check that in once I get off here. See, that's a prime example of perception. And my perception is, ain't nobody supposed to be calling no 9-year-old kid at 9 o'clock at night.
Isn't it an actual phone? Like,
no, it's a tablet. She got a tablet where I got her internet service where she could just go whatever, and then she downloaded this. You get a free phone app. Stuff on her tablet. She been just downloading stuff. Whatever, but perception is, what people think that is. We can't always go off what people think. That's been our problem. And then what Elijah talking about the government, we were trained to believe everything that they tell us. We perceive perception. We perceive whatever the government tell us is got to be facts. And what's happening behind closed doors, we've been alive for a lot of years. A lot of stuff that they say to get elected is not what actually happens. They just say stuff just to get elected. Whoever talked the best can make us feel good at that moment. But when we start talking about how they act once they become president or governor or all that other stuff, it don't never be whatever all the stuff that they say. Even Obama told us a lot of good stuff.
But you got to break that down, because we perceive that Democrats is better for us, But in reality, if you go through and you do the facts, you do the research, you'll find out they're worse for you.
You right now, Elijah. I'm glad you brought up the Democrat and how that you right and you wrong. You right in the sense of when people use the government, when Democrats, all the stuff that they gave people, as far as like healthcare, welfare, all that other kind of stuff. A lot of people thought they was actually doing something for them. Now, in a sense of it, also crippled them. So the Democrat didn't do nothing but really hurt them. But those people at the time didn't think of that. This is really hurting me. At that moment, they was getting help. They receiving help. They know that they can push come to shove. The Democrat Party going to provide them with some type of resource. So they, in their minds, that they are being helped. A lot of black folks talking about, well, what's the sense of voting for any president, because they don't, the black community still look the same way no matter what president it is. We still poor, we still this, we still that. So when a Democrat came out with all they just do and helping the black community, those black people say, well, at least they can actually count what the Democrats did for them. Whereas Republicans are saying, no, we ain't gonna do nothing for you. You got to work for yourself. So a lot of people that's Democrats saying, well, Republicans didn't do a damn thing for us, and they right.
Okay, so Lioness put up a comment, is that opinion or fact? I would, we got to get to
It's an opinion.
Okay, so let's just do it like that. Real quick, opinion or fact. JP, you said yours is an opinion.
Right.
Logic was what you said, opinion or fact?
It's a fact.
What's the fact? Can you restate it?
Based off what I was talking this whole time?
Yeah, what you just said, it's a fact. You said it really fast, so I know you know what you're.
Everything I said, it's a fact. You can look at the black demographics under Republicans compared to Democrats. It's a fact that you can go ahead and research that guy in the January 6th whatever didn't get hit by a fire extinguisher. He actually had a heart attack. So I base the things just about facts. I have no opinion on it. I can give you my perception of something, but I lay away from that and I stick with the facts. So I like to deal with reality in everything I do. That's why I can sit here and say, hey, look, you know what? I'm not telling you something to make you feel good. I'm telling you something based off reality, so you can go check that. If I say it exists, then in reality it exists, so you can go check it out.
However, though, Logic, for a lot of those Democrats that received all the Democrat, like the welfare and all the housing projects, those people felt like the government did something for them. And it can't be a fact when they receive that in their minds, they believe that. I understand where you're coming from. It did hurt them. Mm-hmm. True. That's a fact. It did hurt a lot of people, not all people, but it hurt a lot of people that abused that situation. However, though, for the people that would have probably been homeless, would have people that was probably been having nothing, in their minds, the Democrats actually helped them to not be on the streets. I don't know if you ever been on the streets before, but it's a big difference from being on the streets than being in a low income house.
But see, you think about it like this, and I'm gonna shut up. But this is what it come down to, right? Reality is how things occur and what occurs. So I don't care about a Republican. I don't care about a damn Democrat. I don't care about a donkey. I don't care about an elephant. Stick with the policies. If you lay out policies, I did this during the election on YouTube, and I laid out policies for 2 different presidential candidates, right? Actually 3. Everybody said, give me A, Mr. Logic. And then it was no names, no nothing attached. Because when you do it, when you attach names, you attach feelings, you attach emotions.
There's bias.
Right. Bias, yes.
Yeah. And then if you take that away, or you do the stuff like make them actually talk about policy. But we don't even know the policies. Half of the people don't even know the executive orders that this new guy has put out. They don't care to know policy. So like I said, and then I had got over the Trump thing. I focus on reality. That's why every time y'all see me saying, I will sit here and I'll name y'all executive orders at the executive order at the executive order. And I said on this platform a million times about the equity executive order. How many people really actually look that up? See?
No,
And
they
the
didn't.
reality of this,
Most
and
a
I
lot of
and on
people in
this,
our community
reality
aren't
is
gonna
black
look it
people
up.
don't care. That's reality.
But you
They
know
just
what,
wanna-
Logic?
they
I'm gonna
just
let
want to
everybody
find-
else cook.
You know, honestly, I think most people don't read those things or look too deeply into them. It's all about who makes them feel good during election time.
Right.
And I myself don't align myself with any political party.
I'm with you, Kay,
that's
but
a conversation that we could have. But yes, Logic, I definitely, what you were saying about people not really looking into things. I think a lot of Americans do not look into the politicians that they vote for beyond things that make them feel good or things that they, and that's why pandering to certain groups works so well.
But you know why it works?
Do is say, hey, I carry hot sauce.
You know why it works
or
so
whatever.
well?
And people are like, yeah.
Hey, y'all gonna say hi to Courtney mom? Or Courtney auntie?
That's Courtney mom. Yeah, now she look just like Courtney. Courtney look just like her.
Oh, I thought you were for real. I was
for real.
I was about to say, what is going on? But one
Hey,
thing I want
Miss
to say really
Amber.
quick, and then let's go to Amber.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. I wanted to talk about the difference between reality and perception. Some of y'all know, some may not know, I'm a professional photographer. Been shooting for about 8 years. And I also teach photography, high schoolers. And I'm going to give you an example. I put a Coke bottle on a stool and had them take a photo. They said, what do you see? A Coke bottle on a stool. So I said, now take a picture from 10 different angles, behind, underneath, from the side, under, and they got 10 different perceptions. But the reality is, it's still a Coke bottle on a stand. And I'm a firm believer that reality is moldable, it's mutable. Perception is pretty much a concoction of childhood experiences, paradigms, upbringing, experiences, education, and we literally looking at something from everything from that lens, pun intended. At any given moment, whether it's through therapy, different experiences, different mentorship, that perception could change. So reality at the end of the day is that Coke bottle sitting on a stand, no matter what different angle you shoot it from, whether it's underneath or on top. So I just wanted to add my view on it.
And you know what, Amber? I really believe that Democrat and Republicans help Black people in both ways. Democrats help the people that don't want to work really and believe in the system taking care of them and all the other stuff. That's what they believe in. And whereas the Republicans help the specific Black people that goes out there working, owning businesses and stuff like that. So they both are needed in our community.
Well, see, I'm such an advocate, so I am a firm believer. Everybody knows I shoot everybody, but I'm a firm believer. I like to shoot happy Black people. If you look at my website, you just see beautiful Black people.
Go ahead and shout your website out. Go ahead.
It's my name, Amber Marie Green. But
check her out, y'all.
But if we rely on mass media, specifically how they portray Black men and boys, what is it? It's negative, right? Because their perception, whether it's CNN, NSBC, Fox News, we're relying on their perception, how they want the world to perceive us. If we get in front of our own narrative.
Wait, Amber, you from the crib?
Southside, Bronzeville.
Now, Chicago, you just been silent.
I'm sorry.
And
I'm
I
so
asked
sorry.
this young man to come on camera.
I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at your website now, and the first photo I saw was Lori Lightfoot. So I'm like, she from the crib. Salute. I'll be hitting you up. Listen, I'm an avid art collector. Beta simp, vagina monologue. I am going to hit you up real soon to collect some of what you are what you're offering. Salute to you.
I appreciate it. But going back to what I'm saying, we can even control our own perception, how we're viewed as a Black community, as Black men, because perception can be changed. It can be molded versus the reality. For prime example, me and Chicago, me and Rilla, we from Chicago. What do those who's on the panel who's not from Chicago, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Chicago?
O Block, chilling.
It's only 100
I'm
days.
right down the street from y'all. Milwaukee's
summer is
like
only
45
100
minutes
days.
from y'all. We got the same type of experience almost.
So she's just speaking to the negative perception.
The first thing is Chirac, the violence, the looting, Lori Lightfoot. That's the perception.
Mhm.
But here, my reality is Chicago is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. There's nothing better. The best. We have all 4 seasons. Summertime Shy is the best.
Yo,
up to mass media, you got Chirac, Logic. Be easy.
Hey, Miss Amber, I got a question for you though.
Damn, be easy.
No, hold up, Jay Prince. Let her.
Hold on, Logic.
No, Amber, that was for me. He wasn't doing that towards you because I'm.
Hey, Amber, I got a question for you though.
That was for me, Miss Amber. That wasn't for you.
When you say Chicago is the best city, a beautiful city, which you might be accurate. A lot of these cities are beautiful cities, but my thing is beautiful cities for who though?
That's her perception.
No, wait. Hold on. Let me answer that.
Look, I hate the cap. Look, I'm sorry, Miss Amber. I love you all the way up into this point right here. The reality of it is everything that allegedly we perceive is correct. Chicago do have a gang problem. Chicago do have killings that's crazy. And it's predominantly in the Black community. So, my bad. All right. But I mean, the thing is, I can understand what you're saying. But until we fix our reality, we will never be able to fix what people perceive. That's the problem.
Hold on, Logic. Hold on,
I think
wait.
Amber kind of was touching on that a little bit when she was talking about the image and how people can change it.
And
I think that's the point she was trying to get.
Based on where you're sitting, how you see it, what you've seen before, and what you've been taught. It's all gonna impact what you and JP made it very clear. Like it's a beautiful city to who? From what angle? You know what I mean? Because I know there's some angles where it looks like shit. Then there's some angles where that skyline looks amazing. But again, do you have the experience to be able to see that skyline? Or do you only have the opportunity to see it from the curve? You know what I'm saying?
If I could really quick, because I promise I'm gonna drop down. It's been a long time since I called in to y'all. I really was calling to troll y'all because Kay sitting up there looking like Pam Grier and you sitting up there looking like Lola Falana. And I really was about to go in on y'all. Miss Amber, what Logic was saying when he did the timeout was really for me because I jumped in on what you were saying because I got geeked on what you were saying, right? People don't even know. Maybe JR knows this because I share this with him from time to time. Kay don't know this, but I will leave the south suburbs of Chicago where I stay. I drive through my city. I drive down Lakeshore Drive to get inspired because my city is so freaking beautiful. And all y'all hear is the negative. All y'all hear is like somebody say Chicago, y'all say O Block. You have no idea. Well, Logic, I see your face. Do you really want me to sit up here and name what I could really talk about Atlanta with Bankhead, Bowen Home, Capitol Homes, Techwood, Kirkwood? You know what I'm saying? Do you really want to go to River? Like I could name off all the negative that I know about Atlanta, but what I do really know about Atlanta is Atlanta embraced this dirty, little, skinny, nerdy, goofy Black boy from Chicago and really welcomed me with open arms as the Wayne when I touched down at the AUC. And I got to experience all the beautiful parts of Atlanta. And it was hard for me to not spend my dollar with a Black-owned business. And what y'all don't see is the beautiful parts of Chicago and the history of Chicago, which is why when I go to spots like Detroit, right, I'm looking for the beauty in it. But we only elevate the negative. So you're right, perception is reality. But with Miss Amber, I really want to hire you to shoot me and my boo thing. She just walked in here. I want you to shoot my wedding photos. I want you to shoot my wedding photos.
Hey, Rilla.
Yes, sir.
What you said is actually I believe you, right?
Hold on, Jay Prince.
Hold on, Elijah. Let me get Rilla work fast. I want to add this to the point where he's saying because I don't want him to like mislead everybody. Like Milwaukee is a good city, nice, beautiful city too.
I'm coming up there for
But
Juneteenth,
my thing is this though. When you talk about these beautiful places in that city,
okay,
we not talking. It seems like
y'all
we not
pause
bringing
real
up.
quick.
It seems like we're not bringing up when us certain people come to certain spots in that city.
Y'all pause
We
real
kind of
quick.
get ran out of that spot, so that city ain't for us.
Okay, so while you doing that,
not really for us.
Okay, cool. That may be the truth. So tell me the last time you've been in Bronzeville.
I was just about to say there are plenty of beautiful black.
Wait, hold on, okay? Because I'm finna point out the black. Tell me the last time you've been at the Sable Museum. Tell me wait, hold on. Tell me the last time you've been at Harold Washington Cultural Center. Tell me the last time you've been at Harold Washington Library. Tell me the last time you've been in Pullman. Tell me the last time you've been in Inglewood. Do not play with me about my city, bro. I'm serious about. I've been back for 6 years. I'm serious.
Inglewood is dangerous.
To you. When is the last time you've been here?
Certain parts in Inglewood is dangerous. Where all the people that look like us is dangerous.
Let me tell you something. You about to make me go off on a whole nother tangent.
Chicago, you don't think that's the reality of the situation?
Like, you know what?
I'm here, Kayla.
But listen,
a lot of those spots they don't even want us at.
Listen,
they don't want us
to. Wait. Hold on, Miss Amber. Wait. Listen, Kayla.
I prefer to stay in
honest, Kayla. If you being honest, you're speaking. Wait, Kayla. If you're being honest, you're speaking from your perception because you can't even tell me what parts of Chicago is dangerous outside of what rappers are telling you.
You're right.
And I know for a fact Jay Prince couldn't do the same.
Yeah, no. I done been on Cicero. I done been on Lawrence and Clark.
You telling me Cicero?
That's the north side of Chicago. That's the north side of Chicago.
All I know is that
I done drove through a lot of those little blocks.
No, Jay Prince. Keep it a bean. You drove through. You said Cicero. You see how
I got family from Chicago on the south side from Kilowar.
Bro. I would never come to Milwaukee and tell you what parts of Milwaukee is dangerous and da. I would rely on you.
But majority of the inner city in Milwaukee is very dangerous.
You said Cicero.
But don't you think as a country is very dangerous? Don't you think it's always been pretty dangerous?
The perception is
Hold on, Jay.
Okay. I want to hammer this out and then I'm gonna drop down. Okay, I promise.
Let me highlight a point because I want to get my point off.
Hold on, definitely.
I've been waiting patiently.
Hold on, Chicago.
He's been waiting.
He has been waiting a long time, and he hasn't even said one word. So let's just let him, a little bit. Come on, definite. Okay, Chicago.
Thank you for being
definite.
I can tell he ain't from Chicago.
First off, how you ladies doing?
Hi.
Good. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No problem. Yeah, see, Amber, since she's a photographer, she kind of jogged my memory a little bit. Are you guys familiar with Alfred Hitchcock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So he broke down how perception can be controlled because he actually created like a whole scene. So it's like a dude, he had filmed a dude's face, right? So he was looking straight at the camera, and then he cut to a model at the beach. People automatically assume that he was looking at her, or he's like, gawking at her or something like that. But in actuality, he was just looking at a wall, and then she was just 300 miles away. So with that being said, perception, in my opinion, is not reality because it can be controlled. It can be, manipulated. And just like how you said, Kayla, like your experiences and what you've been, grew up with can give you like that bias when it comes to certain situations. So in my opinion, perception is not reality. It can be controlled just like how mainstream media does it every day. So in my opinion, it's like, yeah, perception is not reality.
I appreciate you saying that because I actually just looked him up and this is a lot of good information and I'm into theater and drama and the dramatic of all of it. So thank you.
Yeah, perception and reality are definitely different. We kind of touched on that earlier. I like the example that you gave, definite G. It's funny because today, what was I don't know. I think I was reading something like because I knew we were going to be talking about this. And I saw like someone say, you could perceive the ground as stable to walk on, but it could be like marsh and just, there could be water under there and you try to step on it, you're going to sink in. So like you perceive it because it looks a certain way, but that's not the reality of what it is. So like a lot of times, you know, we just have to be careful with that because perception definitely does not have to be reality.
But isn't it, especially like when you think about white Americans who do not live around Black people at all, their perception of Black people is based on what they see on television. They have no real experience being around Black people. So they don't really know how Black people really are. You know what I'm saying? So then when you do interact with them, some of them are weird because their perception of what's really going on is warped when they get into actual reality, and then they're like, what is actually going on? So I just thought that was a good example. Go on, I know whoever needs.
I was just about to say something.
Just let she been waiting patient because you know we like to take over. So let them they'll call on us.
Go ahead, Amber.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just about to speak on that, Kayla, that perception is from all over, not just in the United States, all over the globe. Their perception that they got from Black people was based off media. When we talk about crime and poor and prison and stuff, they got a perception that Black men and is crime and all this other stuff. Black women just have a lot of babies, live off welfare. That's their perception. They don't know about the Black women like you ladies up here that went to school and strive and work, you know, take care of y'all responsibilities, don't have no children. They don't know about that. Only thing what they perceive is what's been taught to them. So no, perception is not a reality. Perception is based off the people who telling the stories. And like when I think about slavery and all the other stuff, that's a perception. When we talk about slavery, we learning from what people telling us. It's not reality. We don't know that for a fact of what they told us, what actually took place. That's a perception of what they a lot of these people that study slavery and all this other stuff, they going off based on what they perceive, and we just take it in because they the close thing they did so-called research, but we don't know it for a fact.
What do you know for a
that
fact?
one's a little hard.
I don't know. I don't. Me personally, when I think about realistically, when I think about human nature, a lot of stuff that they told me about slavery and stuff, I don't believe that's reality. I don't believe that they told us the truth.
Okay,
I believe
but those two words don't connect. Believe and reality does not connect.
Right, it don't connect. But
yeah,
what I'm saying
our perception of something in the past is always going to be.
But we perceive slavery.
No one
a lot of blacks perceive slavery. A lot of Black people perceive slavery that Black people just letting these people just do all this stuff to them. Black people.
Wait, I think you're saying
these men. That's what we perceive because we don't really know. That's what was told to us, so we perceive that to be true. And in fact, since we wasn't there, so we don't really know. So we took it in as it is a fact, and we teach our kids this.
JP, your argument is interesting. Let me ask you a question. Are you saying that anything that you have not personally seen that you will not take as a fact?
Correct. Because you don't know who you don't know.
So JP, would you say
that
the earth revolves around the sun?
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Well, that's a perception.
Okay.
That's what was told to me.
Okay, so you believe it, right?
So to get to your point, Kate, a lot of this stuff that was taught to us, a lot of this stuff when we talk about the sun and the moon. For example, Kate, they told us
you stood in the same position all day long. You would see that shit.
Right. Hold on, Kate. Hold on, Kayla.
Hold on, JP. Sometimes even with that, Kayla, because I was bringing that example to JP because his argument of if we didn't see it, it must not be a fact, I think is extremely flawed. And Kayla, hold on, JP, you're gonna get to talk. But Kayla, what you said about like we can see it, yeah, we can see it, but there's a whole section of people that are like flat earth, you know, believers because they've never seen, and they think the sun is the moving around the earth or going from one side to the other. So like people believe different things, So it's not necessarily that just because
Hey,
because Kayla, you're thinking of it like we do see it. We see that the earth revolves around the sun, but some people think the sun is the one that moves and the earth is the one that stands still. Like there are some people that really think that.
Let's stop the cap.
Okay.
Nobody see the sun. You don't see that. Let's be honest.
But you believe it, right?
Yes, but you got to realize.
Why do you believe it? And Logic, I'm not saying this was your point. It wasn't your point. I'm trying to push back on JP because he's saying like, "Ooh, I don't believe things that I've never seen," but you do.
hold on, Kay. I want to say this, Kay. Now, if I'm gonna get real nasty with it, right?
Don't.
What's in my mind? What's in my mind? For a lot of us, we a lot of our education and knowledge was based off what somebody else perceived. So I really believe when it comes to our culture, our race, I hate to say this. I know I'm gonna get a lot of pushback, but I think a lot of us, a majority of the black race is stupid. We all the knowledge that we got was from other people, not from a fact. Everything that we got didn't come from a fact. It came from people when they put it in the book.
Hey, Jay, I'm gonna do so. Just do me a favor, real fast, right?
I think that people that went to the moon and seen somebody.
Hold on, Jay. Hold on, Jay. Hold on.
JP, come on, man.
So we can move the conversation on, Jay. Look up 3 things: opinion, facts, and theories. And then when you look up them 3 things, everything will fit in one of them categories. Now, because somebody give you an explanation to explain something, that will be classified as a theory.
But logic. Logic, let me say this to you. Let me ask you this question right quick, Logic.
No, you can't ask me that.
Everything that was taught to us, how many people of our culture know it for?
JP, you need to
read. Going off of a belief
You have to
system,
read.
either religion or education. It wasn't nothing that we saw in everything that we was taught in school. It wasn't nothing that we actually experienced and said, okay, that's a fact that these people was eating pork and beans on the moon. Why? Because I seen it. It was we can't sit up here and say nothing that these people done told us was a fact.
JP, this sounds, I don't know if you're doing this on purpose or if this is what you really believe, but there is, are you
not the first time I've heard?
No, can I say something in regards to what I'm understanding what JP said. I would not call our people stupid.
What are you understanding about it? Because I don't understand.
Okay, so this is what I am perceiving to
okay, help me out, because what?
I'm definitely not stupid, but I have had some arguments where people do not want to do the research, because when you start researching stuff, the rabbit hole goes deep. I'm going to use this example. I have heard, like, for example, and I don't want to go in a religious direction, but I've heard the King James Version Bible that is not correct. That the oldest Bible is the Ethiopian Bible that goes back thousands of years. Like, I started doing research, I kind of found it, but I couldn't find it. So that all the books are not in the original Bible. So with that being said, I understand what JP is saying, that no matter what we've been taught, nothing is completely absolute or could be 100% correct, because as humans add things with politics, with education, something could be misconstrued if we don't do the research. So I wouldn't say our people are stupid, but I do believe a lot of us are afraid to do the research, because then that will break down what we were taught by our grandparents, our school system, education. That's how I'm understanding what he's saying.
Can I ask her one thing?
That's some facts right there.
That's why I said,
Logic, then definite G.
I wasn't trying to be a butthole, but we as adults have to sit here and say, this is an opinion piece, this is a factual piece, and this is a theory. So a lot of times we have all these things that y'all saying, and then now somebody will create a theory to explain that. We don't know how hot the sun is. They never put a thermometer in there, but it's a theory. It's used to explain something. And we gotta be adults and sit and say, hey, look, but you gotta have them questions. So if you saying that a Bible existed in Ethiopia, whatever, all right, it might be some facts associated with that. And we can agree with you, but guess what? it still would be classified as a theory. And that's why we get in a rabbit hole when we try to prove things that we cannot prove. And if we are never willing to accept, hey, you know what? This is a theory. This is your explanation of why this occurred. We'll fuss and argue with each other, but we can look at things that's factual. We can look and say, hey, in reality, no matter who you is, black or white, if you go to Chicago, the perception is real. Because I can get a school that got 100%, that got 90% dropout rate. And I can take that 10% and I can find good things about that 10%. Like really just try to do. Well, yeah, O Block is killing and all this, and this is what happens in Chicago, but we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this. You can find good in anything. But if you want to break a perception, you got to fix reality. That's the whole point.
O Block not bad to the people that live there. My thing is, of course, I want to ask you a question, Logic.
Okay, before we ask
we talk about
O Block, let's get back to like kind of because I'm just
Yeah, I wanted to.
Go ahead.
No, because I was going to ask him a question to your point,
Okay,
Kate.
Definite G was next. Definite G.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. Because I was showing.
The thing is, I agree with K and J, but I also disagree at the same time because you're not taking into account reference points that you can use to tie into what's already been there. See, you can like with family traditions, if you uphold a certain tradition that's been around for a long time, that can kind of correlate, maybe not all the time, since people can be deceptive and deceive stuff and start smearing a lot of the information, but at least you can use that as a jump off point to see what most likely happened back then. So that's the point where I kind of disagree with K and J on that point. Yeah.
Hey, definite, and Logic. I want to ask them a question right quick.
Okay,
can y'all please name something that you was taught in school that you can vouch that it's a fact?
You just named one. You said you believe that the earth revolves around the sun.
That's not a fact. That was my opinion. That's because I was taught in school. Okay. I could check it in a book and it'd be correct, but that's not a fact.
Okay, so I
want them to name something that it was ever taught.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, JP. Let me just ask because you're right.
The
Maybe
cameras that are in those satellites. What do you think they're seeing? You think those are fake?
So nowadays they making weather now. Nowadays they can make the world rain. They can make the sun.
That is true, but that takes you into a whole other conversation, and people
see. And now they making people and all this other stuff. I want to ask Roger and Definite what they learned in school that they can say that's a fact.
JP, wait. Do you see how?
Just wait. A conspiracy conversation.
JP, do you see how you said they are making weather? They are making people. Do you see how you said that as factual? Like you didn't say it's my opinion or maybe it's a theory. You were confident that they are.
Yeah, that's a declaration.
That they are doing this about this and that. But you don't want to. You want to say, oh, it's just maybe it's not true that the earth revolves around the sun. Do you believe in science? Like I'm trying to figure out.
I believe in science, but I also believe that the people that's telling us about the science not credible, and we haven't fact checked. We haven't fact checked the people that's so-called scientists.
JP, what makes you believe? JP, what I gotta know. What makes you believe that they are making weather? Because you believe that. You said they are.
Okay, like for an example, right?
No. Don't give me any example. Tell me what makes you believe.
As a theory, opinion, or fact. And
my theory, logic to Logic's points. My theory. I'm not saying it's a fact they is, but my theory, though, right, Kay? Well, I'm correcting myself. My theory that they are making weather, whatever. Like in the summertime, you got snow, and from theory, when I started doing research, I found out that they actually compromise in the weather.
Who is they?
Who we call scientists that we never fact check. We never fact check nothing that we was educated about. from the people who was all these people that we got education, we feel like since we got a good grade on this math quiz, on this science test, that it's a fact. Everything that was taught to us is not a fact. It's based on what it's based on for somebody else's reality.
I understand where you're coming from, because there are some feelings that I have about certain things in regards to that. But when you get down to it, you can't just make opinion sounding statements regarding it without the stuff to back it up, because that's when people start getting into it as well. What you can tell people is that these government agencies that agent us, the people that fact check them are private agencies.
That's the problem.
So that should tell you everything that you need to know about the CDC. The CDC is a private organization. They do not have any checks and balances by the United States government. And yet they are the people that decide if food is safe or not. So if I wanted to have a food product
and no food is safe that we've been eating,
private organization, and they can put a stamp on my shit and say it's safe. So that's what I think you want to get into in terms of the conversation, Jay. But that's a whole other
But I want to say this right quick, Kayla. I want to say this right quick. I want to say this one thing before y'all jump on me. I want to say this one thing before y'all jump on me. Right? A lot of people believe in seven. It was 7 planets, right? But in the Bible, it says God created Earth. So who invented these other 6 planets? Have any one of y'all been to any one of these other planets? Have any one of y'all been to all of these other planets, planet Jupiter, and all this other stuff? Do y'all know this other planets exist for a fact?
JP,
give me facts.
Do you think that other planets I get you. JP, do you think, I'm just asking, do you think that it's not a fact that other planets exist?
I don't since I don't know, since I haven't seen it in the experiences, it's not a fact until I'm proven that it is other planets.
You can literally get a telescope on your own.
How you know it's a planet, Kay?
Because of the definition of what a planet is.
Have you been there? Do you see people on that planet?
Goodness. Are you serious?
I'm saying, Kay.
So I guess Europe doesn't exist because I've never been there. Like,
Jay,
until you experience these other planets, please, because in the Bible, we was taught. Hold on, Logic. We was taught Logic. We was taught. Hold on, Kay. Please let me say this, Kay. We was taught in the Bible that God.
Oh my goodness!
God created
the Bible and science.
These
are different things.
God told us God invented
created the heavens and the earth.
So you mean to tell me 7 guys, heaven is the earth, right? He didn't say nothing about planet Jupiter.
Okay,
planet
look,
whatever.
Look.
So that means we got 7 guys.
Or is an octopus mentioned in the Bible? Does it not exist just because it's not?
Well,
JP, what are you saying?
Okay,
what I'm saying is that's a perception that was taught to us.
Hold up, Jay. Hold up, Jay.
Is an octopus?
I love you, Kay, but
JP, are hyenas mentioned in the Bible, like specifically hyenas?
Jay,
or is an octopus mentioned? Is a prairie dog mentioned? Does that mean that none of these things are real? JP,
well, I'm gonna go to planet Jupiter. Well, let's go to planet Jupiter and kick it right fast for the next weekend.
Jay, listen to what I'm saying. I want to tell you something, right? And this is why I said I want you to stop theorizing and start producing facts. You named something about weather manipulation, right? So you was talking about the HARP program, right?
HARP.
Yes. Low attitude, right? Not high. So it's low. So when you see clouds that's low, it's being produced, and it's certain things that they know this. So like I say, like
who know that? You? That's what I'm saying. You speaking off a theory, Logic. You said they know this. You didn't say Logic know this.
Well, okay, JP. Let me just ask you. Let's recalibrate.
I'm speaking off of facts, right?
How's the fact if you didn't see it, Logic?
JP, come on. Just because you don't understand something, JP, just because you don't understand something doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
If you don't have to understand it to know if it's a fact or not. If you didn't see it, you can't say it's fact.
JP, just because you haven't been there.
But how many times we've been lied to? How many times we've been bamboozled and lied
JP, do you think I could be a hologram, or do you think I'm a real person? You've never met me. And how do you know?
Because I talked to you.
See how silly this starts to sound?
No, but
What's going on?
Kay, come on now. But come on now. A lot of stuff that we was taught that we was taught that was unrealistic. A lot of this stuff that we was taught that's unrealistic. Let me give you something that we all think that we all believe that exists that we can't that don't even happen in real life naturally.
Jay,
we was taught that God was Jesus was created from
Jay, you're freestyling. See, I just used one of your points, right? And I'm with you. Listen, I used one of your points, and I told you something that you did not know about that, right?
Right.
So what that will do, that will clear up your theory. If you research that and say, you know what, Mr. Elijah, you're right. I did not know that. So it will smash your theories, because a lot of things that when people say and it happened and they blame it on this, it's not it.
But Logic, all I'm saying is, Logic, you was right, Logic. I'm not discrediting none of y'all what y'all saying, but my thing is this. Well, let me get this out right quick. My thing is this. Everything that I know, when we talk about education system and all this stuff that we was taught in school, I don't really know for a fact. Just because I got a good grade on that for picking that answer, that don't mean it actually exists. That's going off what other people said exists.
Jay, slow down though. Slow down.
Jay, you're kind of all over the place.
You are going to be so stuck in so many aspects of life if you cannot fathom that nothing that you have not seen doesn't exist. So you don't think the continent of Europe exists? You don't think Africa exists? You don't think any of this?
That's not what I'm saying.
All this stuff they show on TV because they're trying to trick us.
No, I think more so what he's speaking about is that because certain sources
been lying to us
all the way accurate, or because we've been fed incorrect information.
So y'all believe Santa Claus
now he just don't believe none of it.
Are you serious?
I don't think that
now, if you lie to me, I guarantee you, Kayla, if you find out I was a liar, if you find out I was a liar, will you believe anything that I say after that?
Yeah, but JP, you can't write off every single thing because some things were incorrect or
but I'm gonna second guess everything because I've been lied to by the same people that gave us all of this information.
JP, let me tell you, maybe those aren't all the same people. There are lots of scientists in the world.
Have you met them? Y'all don't even know these scientists, but y'all saying that what they're telling you is a fact.
Yes, but JP, listen. JP, listen.
I need scientists that you know, Kayla.
JP, listen. I 100% get where you're coming from, but there has to be a balance. Because some people lie doesn't mean that everyone's lying. Because
so who's not lying, Kayla?
Doesn't mean that I'm almost done. Hold on. Just
okay.
Because some things were inaccurate or some things were deceptive doesn't mean that everybody is and everything is. There are certain things that have a definite definition, that have a definite existence. And there are other things that are debatable. But you can't just write everything off and say, oh, because the government said this one thing and that wasn't right, that every single thing that they tell us is wrong or not.
JP, have you ever taken?
You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater with that.
Like aspirin, Tylenol. Have you ever taken like an aspirin, a Tylenol, any medication, anything?
I took a Tylenol before.
Why? Why did you believe that?
Because I believed in taking Tylenol because that's what the doctor said. Because I was going on what the doctors say.
Why did you listen to the doctor?
Because it still didn't work. But to Kayla's point, I want to get to Kayla's point right there.
Why did you listen to the doctor?
Because I'm taught to listen to the people of authority, the people that got an education, and 8-year degree education. I was taught to believe that whatever they do as a doctor, because let's be honest, when we talk about medical and all this other stuff, they don't have nothing that actually cure us. But we still would go to the hospital and call these people.
But they
and sometimes there be people in your family that cure you more than these doctors.
JP, this is why reading is fundamental, because majority of the time in the medical community, they don't claim to cure us. They claim to treat symptoms. They never said that they were going to cure you. They said they're going to do some tests and try to figure out what it is.
Dr. Sebi cured people.
They never have told you that they're going to cure you.
Dr. Sebi cured people. He didn't have a high school.
He literally just say, Dr. Sebi, I'm done. I can't do this.
Hey, oh my God! Hey, but no, Kayla, I want to say this right. I want to say this.
Logic did I can't.
Hold on, Kayla. I want to
Logic.
please, Kayla. Let me say this.
Logic, you are hilarious.
Let me tell you where I'm at, Kayla. Kayla, let me tell you where I'm at. Right when you was talking about something early before Kate jumped in, right? When
Before
we
I
talk,
jump in, it's
hold on, Kate. Let me
JP, let me just make,
hold
on. Let me make one thing clear. Me and Kayla moderate this show, so it's not me jumping in. It's me.
No, Kay, I don't mind. We having a good time.
If we let you continue to talk, you are going to talk the entire time. We have to do something to make sure that people get some kind of equal chance.
But please let me get my point out. Because right now y'all making me look stupid by not letting me finish.
No, we're not making you JP. Look, there are people also waiting in the back. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a tool from Logic Show. We're gonna go on a little timer. I'm going to give you 60 seconds to finish your point here.
Yes,
then we're going to move back to Amber and give Amber 60 to 90 seconds to do her thing. And then we'll see if we'll come back around and if Definite G has anything. Hopefully by then Logic have recovered and we can continue from there.
Kayla, can you please respond? Can you please remember what you were saying before Kay spoke? Because I'm trying to get to that point because I had something to add to that.
Me?
Yeah, when you
was talking about. Okay, 60 seconds.
Stop doing the whole before Kay spoke. Just say what you're gonna say.
No, because I need to remember what she was saying because I forgot what she was saying. I had a point to what she was saying.
Okay, but you don't have to mention me. Just do what you were doing.
I'm sorry, Kay. I
was speaking on how most doctors never say that they're actually treating you. They're treating your symptoms. That's what I was saying. Did you have a rebuttal to that? And then we're gonna go to Amber.
I didn't have a rebuttal to that. What I'm trying to say, like, okay, when we talk about all of this stuff, right? Everything that was taught to us, is not based on a fact. It's based on a lot of a belief system. It's based off a spiritual system. It's based off religious, whatever. But it's not based off a fact.
You're right.
When we talk about Jesus, the virgin born, how many people that seen people that was born that the woman never had sexual intercourse with the person, but now she had a baby? It's not a fact. When we talk about facts and beliefs, and we don't have nothing that we can subscribe to and say, okay, I seen this, I witnessed it. It's a fact. In a court of law, when you go to the courts, they need facts, not a faith. Because if we based everything off faith and beliefs, it'll be a lot of people innocent. So they need factual evidence.
Again, JP, it comes back down to perception. There's been multiple studies done in social psychology where the people will look at the same thing. They'll watch the same video, and all three people will say that they've seen three totally different things. So that brings us back to what our topic.
So you believe? So Kayla, you actually believe that dinosaurs existed? Do you believe that we came from monkeys?
JP,
that we evolved out of monkeys?
I'm going to go to Amber, and we're going to save that because we do have people in the back channel as well. But these are great questions, just not for right now. Just hold on to them for me. Amber, how you doing?
I'm doing good, sis. Thank you. Actually,
Amber's so pretty. She looks just like her daughter. Go ahead, Amber.
JP, I really do appreciate your passion, but you're actually proving the point why when you said Black people are stupid, I said no, they don't want to go down this rabbit hole, because you're proving it right now. Meaning, if we start questioning, well, what if the meteorologist is telling lies, and then we go down this rabbit hole, it goes down a rabbit hole where there's no end results whatsoever. Right. And people, you see how it just got chaotic because every time Kay or Kayla had a question, you had a rebuttal. Well, what if it's not real? What if it's not fact? But what about this? And people don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Why not?
Because some people prefer ignorance is bliss. And people prefer to be in ignorance because it makes their life simple. I'm not saying
Amber, that's not it. Come on.
Thank you, Amber.
No, it's not.
Point. They don't want to believe that what they was believing is a lie.
So, Amber, what you were saying in terms of just not wanting to go down a rabbit hole because it will never end, I understood what you were saying, because you could say, like I said, am I a hologram? Like, I'm not a real person. And, who knows? Are you real, Amber? Like, we could do all that all day, but where are we going to get, in terms of even just anything? I think, JP, I can talk to you more about things that you could maybe read, because there is information out there. And there are things you can go see yourself. There are things you can do. Like, it's a fact that, a plant, will grow from a seed. You can watch this happen. So maybe there's some experiments I can help you do, like, remotely, and just to show you that things that people study and things that people come up with, it's not like the reliable sources, let me put it that way, just pull them out of thin air. These are things that have been studied and continue to be improved upon, and more things are discovered. I get that. But just like, and I'm not mad at people questioning everything. You can question everything. You can question whatever you want. But to just say things like, how do you know that there are planets? Get a telescope.
I'm push back a little bit, Kay, when I say ignorance is bliss. And I'm not saying it's right. But when you go down the rabbit hole and research things, you eventually will learn some things that's going to change your reality. A lot of people don't want to change.
But who are you researching from, and how do you know that they're reliable if you're not accepting the other people? You see what I'm saying? Then how do you know?
Nothing is absolute.
So then how do you know? You're saying you go down and you research and you learn. Why are you saying that that's true versus the other thing? See, this is where it gets messed up.
That's my point. That's my point. Because
people are quick to say that whatever is commonly accepted or whatever is not true, and they want to like attach themselves to this thing that a lot of people might not believe because it's different than what people believe. You cannot that undoes the entire argument, because if we're saying that we can't believe scientists and we can't believe whoever and whoever, what makes you think, not you, but whoever, think that you can believe these random other people that are saying the opposite of what professionals in a field have agreed upon? Why do you believe them? Is that not the exact same thing?
I can give you an example. So obviously, in the Black community, we deal with a lot of health issues due to our diets, how we were brought up, diabetes and things like that. And we think in the way we've been eating, our paradigm of upbringing is fine until one day I may have watched What the Health. And I'm seeing where food is coming from and what they put in it. And it's going to challenge me to not only change the way I eat, but then look at how my mother and my grandmother fed me, and why, my grandmother had a quadruple bypass surgery. When you do the research, the more you know, it's going to challenge you to change your reality that you believed for so long. And I'm saying ignorance is bliss because a lot of people don't want to change. A lot of people don't want to do research because it's going to force them to look in the mirror and make changes that are not comfortable, or change the trajectory of how they want to live their life. So that's
I agree with what you said about diet. I think that there are genuinely some information out there that is not true. Like there's literally like one thing, like I'm drinking, this is almond milk because I'm having a cookie, right? There are still people that think that like milk is good for you, that think that like children need to be drinking like cow's milk that come from cows. You know what I mean? That is literally pushed into our marketplace as healthy and something that people should be doing. And that's not true. But there's tons of scientific people will say there's scientific evidence that says blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And there's also scientific evidence that says that dairy from other animals causes mucus in the human body. So there are things out there, but I think JP was more so talking like thousands of years ago, where like as humans, we did like come up with shit because there's no possible way for us to honestly know. We just said, okay, this A, B, so I guess it's C. And people just started building on shit from there long time ago, right? So maybe that's what JP is talking about, or maybe he's talking about like what I mean about with the help with the dairy and with the meat and all of this shit that's pushed, when in reality we all should just be eating fruit and vegetables for real. But
yeah, there was a whole lobbying thing in terms of milk in schools and all of that caused, this whole milk is good for you thing. And that's an instance where we can say, you know what, look, people had an agenda. So they were pushing that milk is good for kids. So therefore they can get these contracts with these school districts. Now everyone drinks milk at school. That's more money for the dairy industry and all of these things. I mean, and there are absolutely instances where this is the case. I just think that where it was getting off track for me was when JP started saying that Black people are dumb or whatever, and then started talking about these
that ain't gonna work.
That made absolutely no sense. And that you can easily, like I said, if you don't believe a book, if you don't believe experts in the field, buy a telescope, look into the night sky, find the celestial body that you would like to look at, the one that's close enough, depending on how much money you want to spend on your telescope, and you'll see it. And then it'll be, well, you haven't been there. So what if it's just an optical illusion? Like, where do we draw the line? Like, come on.
I'll tell you where we draw the line at. I'm gonna tell you, and Miss Amber finna know what I'm finna do. See, Miss Amber she said some good stuff, but I gotta push back on a lot of it. But I'm gonna really hold on to one thing she said. Research. See, we'll go in and we don't understand the difference between something that's factual, opinionated based. We don't understand nothing. We don't even understand what's a theory. It's things out there that we follow every day.
Theories that are not even proven.
And like I say, and you see, it's hard. And I was trying to get JP to come down, because if you sit here and say to yourself, I'm going to present right now my opinion. So now we'll take it as your opinion. I'm going to sit here and present the fact. We'll take it as your fact. I'm going to present a theory. You remember this, Miss Amber?
I remember.
Yes. Now, like I said, with my kids, what I do is they do research. Plant with little music. No music. Plant with 30 minutes of music a day.
Is that basil?
Plant with an hour of music a day. So now, if I give them something and I say, I want you to understand this, they know a research project gonna come. So now, if I can get my kids to understand this, and we grown men and women, and we can't understand this basic, because now when my kids talk to me, they speak to me in terms of, this is my opinion or perspective, this is a fact, Dad, or this is a theory, because I want them to test everything. Don't even listen to your dad. Now, what a fine line. But if we can get to that point, I think we'll be way powerful. Then we'll stop using talking points, stop using like Dr. Sabi, stop all this stuff here. You can't tell me nothing but his name. That's it. Last person I talked to about Dr. Sabi, they didn't even know he had a clinic in Honduras. But they still want to tell me about this stuff, and they don't do the research. And I say, I can't do it with these people sometimes. Research. It's easy.
And you know what? I think the issue is reading sometimes, because unfortunately, people don't like to read. But you know what's so great about it being 2022, is that your Amazon account has this thing called Audible, and you can listen to books, guys.
Oh yeah, nope.
And you can get information. Absolutely. Isn't that cool?
That absolutely.
And I also wanted to
go ahead.
Oh yeah, I wanted to add to Logic's point. To help us to get to the bottom of certain things is correlation. Like, how does this correlate to the next step? Because if it has some sort of, let's say, dissonance between one variable to the other, then we can't really necessarily use that as some sort of, something that's concrete. So if one thing can correlate to the other, then we can at least use that as something that we can move forward.
No. That's actually the opposite. So correlation does not at all mean causation. Correlation does not mean causation. I think what you might be talking about is like the fact that if something can be repeated and you get the same results. So that repetition of an experiment, that's what scientists do. That's part of the scientific method. Can you repeat this and get the same thing? Can you repeat it? Can somebody else repeat it and get the same thing? Just because two things are correlated does not mean really anything a lot of the time.
Hold on one second. Wasn't he more so talking about dissonance? Because when he said that to me, that made me think about when white people said that Black people can tolerate more pain, and so they don't need anesthesia and stuff like that to go through surgery. And they said that was a fact. Like that would be
Black
dissonance
women, when it comes to childbearing. Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, more or less. And I understand what you're coming from, Kay. I completely understand that. At the same time, we need to at least move forward with something. Yes, obviously, not everything's going to be the main source of everything. I get it. But at the same time, when it comes to moving forward to, getting somewhere, at least making sense of the situation, we have to at least make connections where it's actually appropriate. So yeah.
But can I say something to the Fine G? Y'all my jits, and I love my jits in this network. But what I'm telling y'all this, research your reality. Then you won't need no perception. That kills the whole topic anyway. Like you said, if Miss Amber said Chicago is great, I'm gonna research I'm gonna research that from a reality standpoint, and I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, y'all got a good basketball team and that, but I'm not safe. So based upon the research I do in reality, I can sit here and talk to people about that. But I'm not going to talk about no spaceships and no aliens and no boats and no flying saucers and all that kind of stuff like that, because I can't research that. And if you can, you can. But then I'm waiting for you to be able to do that. Other than that, we need to understand, and we don't understand the importance of our reality. We base everything based off of somebody else's perception or our perception of what's passed down to us. I'm sorry.
Logic. So what would you say to a person who doesn't, or people who don't believe anything unless they have personally seen it? Do you think that that is a good rule of thumb? Like, what do you think about that? Because I agree, research things, look things up, look for experts in the field and learn more about whatever you want to know about. But what would you say to a person who's just like, you know what? If I can't see it, if I can't touch it, it's not real. It might be a lie. It's a blah, blah, blah. What would you say to that?
I do this fun facts with my kids. And then at least once a day, they got to present a fun fact. So that fun fact will have, it builds their reality. It builds their knowledge base. Did you know that stop signs used to be yellow and not red?
I love fun facts. I think this is great. Logic, I'm learning so much more about you today. Really.
But what I'm saying is that that was one that we did last week. So, and I've been busy at work. But this is what you do. You get them to thinking. You get them to start proving things.
Yes.
And once you get their mind and to start proving things, you know what happens? You'll open up the floodgate. Like my son now, he want to try everything. So he trying his plans right now, but he's trying rap music. And you know what his project is doing? It's failing because classical music works better than rap music. But guess what happens? Now he want to know why. So you open up them floodgates and you open up somebody's mind, and then you won't create a disrespectful person. What you will end up creating is a thinking person and a critical thinking person, and he'll keep going and going and going. So now when somebody sit here and tell my son something, and he do it so calm, and I love it, it's professional. Okay. And then you know where you go in? He hit my phone and say, hey, Dad, there was somebody told me today. I say, you know what I got to do? Yeah. And I paid him to do that. But see, if we can't even do this as adults, I can't imagine what these kids of these adults is doing. If you run around talking about Dr. Saban and spaceships and stuff like that, and I'm all good for it, but if I cannot research it, if I can't prove it, yes, teach your kids theories, but at the end of the day, if you teach them this bull crap, it will form their reality. Somebody else's perception became their reality. And that's key. Somebody else's perception became their reality.
So this is a good time. I want to segue into just some super chats since we are a good halfway through the show. Let's all take a deep breath. Let's just shout out to the super chat. So we'll start from the beginning. We appreciate all of our people going green. Super dope. So shout out to Con Danny Holiday. Your perception creates your reality. Whatever you put in your subconscious mind becomes your reality. This is very true. I think that people also talk about that a lot, in terms of attraction or whatever.
Oh, did I just say that though?
You did, Logic. Okay. Then shout out to Hallie Speaks. Chicago's the greatest city in the U.S., more specifically out west. So shout out to Chicago. Thanks, Haley. Shout out to Alpha Omega, Kayla dunking on people at the live show. Listen, if I'm bigger than you, swoosh, it just is what's going to happen. Shout out to Lamar, the kid, for coming on stage as well. We're definitely going to get to you after this. I perceive Kayla needs new internet, but you could be wrong. No, you're right. And if you want to sponsor that, we'll set that up in the back chat. Shout out to Mr. Logic, part 2 for Kayla's internet. People, I love all these donations. I appreciate. Shout out to Just Right Music, showing love. Again, Mr. Logic, looking out for your girl internet. Okay. Okay. I'm with that. Shout out to Miss Parker, theory, opinion, fact, or observation. Yep. Shout out to 05. It's the fact that me and Kay are gorgeous. Thank you, honey.
I agree.
Appreciate that. And 2 more. Again, Miss Parker, critical thinking skills is the power of deduction. Ooh, we should definitely get into that a little bit. And lastly, Trey 05. This is where I rock with logic. Fun facts are dope.
I love.
So thank you, people, for going green. We appreciate y'all so much. Lamar, what's
this? Logic? What is this?
That's my O Block gang signs. Not playing. Look at Miss Amber like, no, I don't want Mr. Logic to get hurt. All right, you good.
So we do, let's see, who left?
Lamar didn't get to talk yet. Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up? I kind of agree with some, what all y'all said on the panel. Really, all y'all have some good points. What I've learned about perception is that perception can be your reality, but it can be a false, or it could be true, depending on how you perceive it. So, like, for example, I use myself. When I was younger, my mom and dad was fighting, like they was arguing back and forth, right? And my mama had tripped. And because I was young, I perceived that, and I didn't see it. I didn't see it good. I perceived that he had pushed her. And so that became my reality because no one came back to explain what actually happened. So it affected me. So, but when I grew up, I came to find out that nobody pushed her. She tripped. There was something on the floor that she tripped over, but that perception became my reality. But at the end of the day, that reality was false. It wasn't true. So I definitely think that your reality can be true or false depending on how you perceive things. And I agree with Logic too about theories and how people they don't do the research on a lot of things. They go with the flow or whatever makes them comfortable or what makes them feel good. I think you said that too, Kay. And they really don't take the time to do the research. This is why one of the things I do like about you, Kay, when you said on the Lapeef show, you said when some of the people was coming up on the panel and you said, do they really believe what they're saying or are they just saying it? And I think a lot of times people really don't believe what they're saying. They're just going along with it because that's what they've been told. And then if you begin to question them, their argument falls apart. That's how you can really tell they don't really believe what they're saying. So the second one was about what you do, how it's perceived. It's kind of hard, but I think how it's perceived matters more. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because, especially in today's society, you can know that what you did was either right or wrong, but how other people perceive it will determine whether or not, let's just say, if you had to defend yourself, right, and you end up killing somebody, but you defend yourself in self-defense. Well, if the crowd perceives that as murder, then that's going to weigh more than what you perceive it is. So.
Right.
That's just how I look at it.
Yeah, we definitely brought up that example too. So, it's interesting that you brought up the same one because, that's a real life, example that we can look at that happens. There are plenty of cases where, how do you draw the line? If the jury perceives that you're doing this thing and you were like, let's say you really weren't, you're still going to prison. So absolutely. Lamar, what would you say in because I'm just so still kind of thinking about when we were talking earlier about the whole, like, I don't know if it exists if I have not actually seen it, because really, interesting point of view to have. So what do you think about that?
You got to have balance with it. I can understand you being skeptical and maybe second guessing, and you want to do research for yourself. But
Agreed.
I believe that everybody has a component of faith, and we all believe. Well, I say, from what I see generally people may believe either in people or science or whatnot, and they haven't seen it, they haven't done it themselves, but they believe in good faith until it's proven wrong. I believe that's just a natural thing we do. But if you go down that rabbit hole of just not believing anything and you just question on just everything, then I think you'll drive yourself insane. You'll be like one of those ones where you'll be paranoid all the time. Like I wonder if it's true or not. I wonder. So I don't go down
really
that.
My friend, are they really coming to pick me up at this time? It's not true. Are they really gonna, like, where would you ever, how could you ever stop? If I wake up and I want to turn on the water, is it gonna come out? I don't know. Like, when would it ever end? Like, I think that would be a horrible life to live when you just you can't count on anything ever. Like you said, I think it could drive some people,
Yeah, and I wanted to touch on what he said as well, because then you would have to question reality, because I'm really like I have a big issue when people say your truth or that's just your reality. No, reality is reality, truth is truth, regardless of who says it, because I can say chair in English and a Spanish speaker can say silla, but we said the exact same thing. It's still a chair at the end of the day. So I have like, then if you going on that slippery slope, if you're just saying like, oh, like what, like just like how the example that you just said, Kay, you're gonna be paranoid. You're gonna be just like, oh, like what if if I drink from this cup, would the water actually go through my like it just gets
right? Like,
gets
where
too
would
like,
exactly?
yeah,
And I
just too much
understand, and I
issues.
understand why people have that perception, because you got to understand too where it comes from. I think where it comes from is, back then, uh, we didn't really have access. You didn't have internet, so we didn't really have access to information. So you had to believe what the government said. You had to believe what scientists said. I mean, you just had to, unless you went into like a library or something to try to research. But a lot of people wasn't doing that, so you had to believe it. But then when the internet came, you could research different stuff. You can test stuff yourself. That's when people started being like, okay, well, y'all lied about this, y'all lied about that. What else are you lying about? And if it's not balanced, that's when people go to the extreme and they just start, going down a lot of rabbit holes. So I understand why people think that way.
I get why people are skeptical about certain things. Like, I think Kayla brought up a situation about like the medical the healthcare system and pain. Was that you that brought that up, Kayla, about the healthcare? I mean, I get
more so about things that they allow healthcare companies to push that are not accurate.
Like back in the day, like thinking that Black people couldn't feel pain, or like they
didn't feel it as much.
Those things are even pervasive throughout the healthcare system today. Like, people still have those ingrained, I guess, thoughts about certain groups of people. So like, I get the skepticism about certain things. But also, like Lamar said, I think that you have to understand, I guess, what makes sense in certain aspects. Like, it makes sense that healthcare and the medical field, system could be racist, because we have seen over time, like, these things happening. We've seen them, we've read about them, there's research, all types of stuff. Look up the whole EGFR thing in terms of kidney function. That is blatantly racist. It's like, oh, Black people have this function and white people have this one. Like, what? These are kidneys. So this is a real thing that happens. It's not just an opinion. But then when we're talking about, like, do clouds exist, or are there planets? Like, I think that that's a whole different topic because it makes sense because we can look up in the sky and see the stars.
But yeah, and that's why I said that to him. It's a whole other topic.
Yeah, like that's a whole different thing. Like being skeptical about
and we will do something about that because people may not know that I'm like big into like conspiracies and things of that nature.
Kayla,
we'll not know that about me.
We gotta.
So we will have a show about some certain misconceptions like in the future. That's just a whole other place. We want to stick to just talking about perception and when we were talking earlier, I do want to get the men's opinion when we were talking earlier about do you guys switch the way that you deal with people based on like your perception of them or their perception of you?
Can I say something real quick about the healthcare thing that might help somebody before y'all answer? I'm sorry, but I saw somebody in the chat like sharing their experience about their sister being an OBGYN. And my mom actually shared this with me. They didn't want to do a certain thing. And she said, put it in my chart that you are saying, no, I'm not going to do this. And guess what they did? They did it. So if you are ever in a situation, Black people, where the doctor or whoever in the healthcare field does not want to do a test or check something out or prescribe a whatever the case may be, tell them, look, okay, fine, but document it in my chart that I asked for it and you said no, and watch how quick they switch that up. Just saying, try it if you're ever in this situation, because people really do be out here trying to deny Black people proper medical care in plenty of instances. So yeah, you got to advocate for yourself because there are these preconceived notions about Black people and what we can withstand and what
make sure they get insurance though before you say that, because I seen people get denied treatment, and like I said, I done read them articles like you said, right? And I did further research, and then inadequate insurance. But should that exist? No, I think.
No, I'm talking about people with insurance.
It's about the provider, though. Your insurance company is not there when you're getting treated. It's you and the provider, which is the doctor.
I'm talking about people with the insurance. I know the insurance itself is a whole nother topic, which has a whole lot of nonsense going on. But even with insurance, you still have to advocate for yourself. Tell them to document it in your chart that you asked and they said no. Just do it. I mean, just
it's good advice.
Yeah.
But do any of the men want to answer my question though, in terms of perception versus reality? Like, what do you think matters more? Or like, do you guys switch the way that you deal with certain people based on their perception of you or based on your perception of them?
I can answer that question.
Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. This is Pastor Collection Plate from Second Baptist Church down on the east side. All the ladies and gentlemen.
How do we always go through this? This is
well, it's not a problem. The problem here in the community is, in our community, the people don't have the belief. So they're told these facts that are actually not facts, and they're not told to do the research. But then when you understand, when you actually apply faith, and then after the faith, when you go and actually really believe, and then after faith, when you go to believe, your perception is going to change. And then after your perception changes, we start to build a community for all the people. They understand me. But you people, you have to believe and you have to have faith. Do you understand me? Can I get an amen in the chat, please, from my trolling 60s? But the fact is, we need to do our research first and get the facts. And then we need to have grace for one another, but have faith and have belief and the confidence to go and change the world. Do I make myself clear? The Lord is here for us. Oh, God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What?
That's all I got, ladies and gentlemen.
This is absolutely
Plastic collection plate, so we can get Kayla some new internet that's working. I tell you, working internet for Kayla. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
This is truly horrific. It really is.
Kayla.
It really is like.
It's the reddest network ever.
It's just terrible. I just I've never encountered something.
Oh, where did JR find these people from, man? This is crazy.
I don't know, but that was.
Hey, that was creative though, man.
JR,
that was very creative.
Get the hell out of here with that shit.
Hey, that's like some shit I do.
JR, okay, go ahead.
Join that membership.
Big facts.
But you know, Kayla, Scam Likely every single week has
every
something.
single week. This is his debut. He comes up here for his performance, and we never know what kind of caricature we're going to get out of him. We never know.
Showtime at the Apollo. I don't know.
Someone says I hate him because of his wig comments. No, I don't hate him because of his wig comments. He and I both know my wigs are fabulous. He's upset by that.
Your wigs are fabulous, actually.
They give him a pass. No, that was absolutely horrific.
Happy Princess said.
Talk about give him a pass. That was the worst thing I've ever experienced. That I'm low key feeling violated.
You should go around and ask everybody what they thought about it.
So, Mr. Logic, what did you think about the performance?
I walked out. I had to make me another drink. I can't do this. I'm telling you. I'm trying to stop.
Lamar, what do you think? What is your vote on that performance?
I think he trolled like he was going to do. I knew he was going to do something like that.
He's a trollaholic. Okay.
I looked at his name and knew he was going to do something like that.
And you know, it's at this point really consistent from like he started off, you know, talking with us about the topics. And as the weeks went by, he like kind of does his little comedy set, gets a couple of jokes in.
That's
now he brought instruments, you know. I mean, whatever.
Is that comedy?
Now, you know, he does. He has his.
Hey, that's the first time I seen Kay really laughing, man. She was. Hey,
I laugh all the time.
She was intrigued, but. Hey, but real talk. When you hear him on other panels and see him, he's very intelligent brother. Very intelligent brother.
I think
he has a comical side to him, so he's balanced.
And I gotta give him this. Yeah, we go back, but he's green in the chat. So he's part of the green gang. So you got to give him a little love. Y'all try to
do his They said he's been waiting for this. I guess he has been.
He comes up, you know, we always let him up and let him rock out with his jokes and instruments and whatever.
They're always highly entertaining. What I will say is there was one thing that I felt comical, and he said trolling 60s. So I'll go ahead and give him that, and then hopefully we can move on and I can recover.
Hold on, he said something about your wigs.
Yeah, he often speaks about my wigs, but he understands how fabulous my wigs are. So
somebody in the comments was trying to say that Kayla didn't like it because he said something about a wig before.
Hey, think about this. It's a bald head chicken.
I do not care. I don't care, you guys. I really don't.
Because since Kayla is a hologram, she could have just told us all that this is her hair. Like, why would she even have to admit that if she cared, if she was pressed, she wouldn't even have to say anything.
I think he just wanted to bring some comedic relief. But it was comedically constipated. I don't know. Not relief though. Not relief.
We're not gonna talk about constipation on this show no more.
Why? Is there an issue you have with constipation, JR? I have stuff for you. I have a tea.
I'm pretty sure
herbal products.
I'm pretty sure Kay know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Remember the situation on the show in the bathroom?
Oh yeah. With that man that came on. But
I think I got off early that night or something.
Yeah, and he was in the bathroom and I don't know what he was doing. Allegedly, I don't know what he was doing. But I think I saw him in the comments saying that he wasn't actually making the poopy, but I'm not sure if that's or not.
I mean, well, that was a PR move. Of course, I would say that too. What are you guys talking about when all the facts were in the background?
Listen, we all do it. It's natural. We all should be doing it at least twice a day. Listen, let's move on.
Yeah, Likely, we know it's entertainment. We get it. Somebody asked if I was wearing a wig.
We're cool.
Does this look like a wig? Does my hair look like a wig?
They actually do.
How?
No, because it's perfect. So I appreciate it. Do you get like a shape up for it though? Or just like Gel.
No, I just try to like push it into place if it starts to look a little uneven. You know what I'm saying? But no, like a wig. But you know what? People do ask me if my hair is a wig.
No, it looks great. I like your hair. I rocks with it.
Thank you. Thank you. It is not a wig at all.
At all.
Not a wig. Ow, ow, ow. Not a wig. But I just think it's weird that like no matter what your hair looks like, unless it's just shaved bald, people are like, is that a wig? No.
I feel like as long as people look good and they're happy and they're healthy, that is the best. Because I know some people with great locks of hair who are full of shit. So moving on.
Hey, I'm kind of feeling some type of way y'all talking about hair. I
want to know what Mr. Hink said.
JR doesn't have hair.
Yeah. JR, don't feel left
I don't appreciate
out.
the shaming tactics, Kay.
JR,
I appreciate that.
There's nothing wrong with being bald.
JR, the face on your hair, on your face.
What?
What?
Just stop.
The hair on
right
your
there.
face.
I don't want to hear no. What up, Hank?
The hair on your face. That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Okay, I know it's getting worse. Go ahead, Hank.
What's up, big brother? You good, big brother?
I don't know, man. I might have lay down after this one.
Oh, man, you good.
Kayla tried to make it better.
I might have to get that LeBron special.
You know what? I know a guy where you can get an install. You want to get an install?
No, don't try to do no damage control now. You already done shit on me,
special?
I did not shit on you. Don't tell people that.
I just don't think you should, because I think that your being bald is like part of your signature look, like bald, beard, glasses.
Okay. Is your head shiny?
So that's why I'm just saying don't do it. But I mean, if it would make you happier, by all means.
I don't know how I feel about being in the spotlight right now.
Wait, but JR, I just want to know, is your head
it's coming
shiny?
from all angles. Like I'm trying to process what you're saying, and then we got somebody else on the other side.
Is your head shiny?
It's too much.
Is it shiny?
It all depends.
Depends on
if I grease it up.
Grease.
Oh, okay.
So I was wondering.
okay.
I was wondering.
Shout out to all the jerky users.
Their head, is that why it's shiny, or is our heads just shiny? You know.
Shout out to all the jerky users.
It all depends on how the light hit it.
But what kind of grease? Like, are you using like jojoba oil or like?
Maybe he's using coconut. Coconut oil.
Jelly.
What kind of jelly?
Bio oil jelly, gel, lotion, whatever.
Strawberry jelly? Like, what kind of jelly what are you talking about?
I think he uses the same thing them chicks use for their baby ends. What y'all call it? Baby ends?
Baby ends?
What's that called?
A pink lotion?
No, what's the chick called? The little baby ends? They be having curls all in that shit.
Oh, like some edge control.
No, but what's they call the chicks when they
like it's that black stuff. What's that black stuff called?
Oh, man.
Jam? Is it jam?
Jam.
Black.
Jam is a gel. It's a holding.
Nah.
What are you holding on a ball?
Styling and conditioning gel.
I guess you're holding the shine.
We don't have edges. That's why we are asking what is it called. So we don't know.
No,
you steady trying to roast.
They call it a little style. Like everybody had that shit. It's like a little style.
What are you talking about? Like baby hairs?
Get out your
baby hair.
Baby
Why
hair.
would you be worrying about baby hairs if you don't have regular hair? You gotta have adult hairs to have baby hair.
I be like, ain't that baby about that hair? That should be long as hell. They had that shit curled up and spinning and shit. Man, that should be looking crazy.
One of my friends calls them babysitter hairs when they're very long.
Baby hair. They ain't no baby hair. That hair long as hell.
They're adult hairs.
Yeah, like if I just use my whole front hairs as the baby hairs, well, I don't know.
That's very high fashion runway kind of thing.
And the old school like
about the baby hair. That's hood fashion.
Well, it's become
nobody else but black women right around here with gel on their edges and curls talk about baby hair.
That definitely has become more mainstream. It has. I told you about the white girl I saw talking about sticky bangs.
Sticky bang? What is that?
That's what she called them.
Sticky bangs?
Yeah, I guess she thought she made that up.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that. People in the chat line. Hispanic women do it as well.
No, a lot of people do.
Stop it. You go to Instagram, you see every black chick, they managing their baby curls. All of them gelled up. They got lines in their shit. They shit spinning one way. It's twisted.
Look at my hairs. Not gelled, not nothing. That's just
no, you good though. I like the little, you know what I'm saying, that natural stuff.
Okay, you use that blue magic, don't you?
No, but you know what? I'm a fan of the old school, things that work.
Grease
like
in the scalp, old school.
Pink oil, pink, what's it called?
Pink
Blue
moisturizer.
magic, all that. There used to be a thing called Moisture Max. I haven't seen that since I was a kid. Yeah, but those old school things definitely work.
So are you against the sheen?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, Kayla. Okay.
What are you talking about? The sheen.
That spray oil sheen they use.
Oh, I'm not against whatever people want to do to their hair, but I mean, I don't use that because I don't like things that spray aerosol. Like,
oh, I knew it.
Hold on. Somebody in the chat said you can buy baby hair now.
Oh yeah, they have like tattoo. They have tattoo baby hairs. Like you can tattoo.
Oh,
well, it's like a you know the kind you put on and then you put water.
It's
like
a fake tattoo.
Yeah. It's like
so,
a temporary.
So do the wigs come with baby hair?
People cut the wigs, I think, to make the baby hairs, right?
They don't come with it though. You gotta go.
Kayla, does wigs is there like an extra thing you have to buy for your wigs, the baby hair?
Yes.
I don't know about the bottom.
Well, what I've seen on TikTok.
So y'all tell me you gotta buy. So you tell me you gotta buy a wig. So you tell me you gotta buy a wig and then buy a smaller wig and cut it. Put baby on the front of that bitch.
You gotta adjust.
No, I think that they ventilate lace and they do something like that to make.
I've seen them take like a part. They part like the front. People part like the front, like half centimeter of the wig, and then comb it forward, and then cut it short, and then lay it however they want their baby hairs to lay.
Oh, that's right. They call that shit install, right? Or install.
Okay, how you know all this?
No,
I'm on TikTok and I see it all the time. And plus, plenty of women that I know wear wigs, and I watch. I mean, I love to know about things that don't necessarily.
Are you crossing over, Kay? You about to get into the wig game? Yeah.
No, it's funny though because I bought a wig. Like,
here we go.
I bought this wig kind of recently. Not my hair is not a wig, but I bought a wig recently. And my man was like, I just bought it. I never even wore it. But he was like, really? Why would you? He was like, why would you buy that wig? It literally looks like my hair. He was like,
why would you
to put a wig on top of? I was like, you know what? I don't know. It was a late night purchase.
Oh, I know it was.
Look, hey, I'm gonna tell y'all the true story. I had this chick and she said, "Hey, can you come pick me up? I'm just getting my install." So I ain't even saying that because I thought, you know what I'm saying, she was going to the auto dealership. I was out there waiting for like a half hour. And they said, "Where the fuck you at? How long it take for them to do this install?" She said, "No, I'm at the hair salon." I said, "Hold on."
The word install, I think it's just, makes it a little more fancy sounding.
I can't with logic. It's all a joke.
Hey, look, then I finally went to get her. It's like 5 chicks with dreads and shit. They got glue guns.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought, Logic, when I was a kid.
NASCAR.
You walk in there,
I thought when I was a kid.
It's not like Midas, like, you know what I'm saying?
Really, Logic? Okay. I was not expecting that. Okay. Everybody back? What's going on?
Hey, Lodge, you thought you was at the Daytona 500, didn't you?
Matter of fact, sound effect. I get it. Hold up.
The way you made it sound, it was like in that movie Psycho where he was like stabbing that lady. Have y'all seen that movie? Who just mentioned Alfred Hitchcock earlier? But anyway, It was like the sound that Logic was just making. That's what it reminded me of. For anyone who's seen that,
I think I know that. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
the lady, and she was trying to take
Bates
that.
Motel, ain't that what it's called? Bates Motel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about the old version, not the
black and white version.
That sounds like a little drill.
You said that's what happens at the install place for the wig.
That is
what?
That's what Logic said. It's what it sounds like at the wig place for the install.
Why would that sound be present? Like,
because they're trying to talk about obviously like getting something.
Kayla, you don't do that, do you? You don't go through the install, do you?
Who, me?
Yes.
Sometimes I do my own hair a lot though.
So are we going to be able to have like a, questioning hour about y'all's hairs and beards and the Beijing and all this stuff that y'all be doing?
I want to get everybody's feedback about the actual topic, since we do only have
right. Like we've just gotten really far into this whole.
Let's try to stay topical in our last half hour if we can.
Hey, you see this luscious beard I got? Your man wishes he had a beard like this. Your man wishes he had a beard like this.
I don't say anything about my man. I don't play about my man. Be quiet.
Oh, my bad, baby. My bad. Hey,
thank you.
You wish your man had a beard like this?
You're crossing over into very weird zone.
Well, I'm just saying. You was asking about the beards, Kayla. I'm just trying to talk about it.
Is that beard real?
Yes, ma'am, it's real.
I wanted to know if it was installed.
No, I don't believe in fake shit.
Okay.
First of all, you see all this gray in her. Why would I get a fake beard with gray in it?
To make it look real, duh.
Nah, it's legit.
Yeah, that looks like a lot.
Man, they'll say anything. They say I got a fake beard. I don't listen to them.
Who is they?
Y'all, every time y'all start talking that trash to me, that's what I'm gonna play for y'all.
Wow. That sounds like they're putting on the lug nuts or something.
It sounds like you're changing a tire.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing fake about this beard, baby. It's all real, all legit. I got my hey, okay, I know you got one of these at the crib, one of the pics with the fist on it. That's what I use for my beard.
Mine is just kind of.
I'll read it back for the topic though. I'm done with the install.
Yes, like I said, we have our last half hour, and let's get back to the topic. So, what do you guys? Let's get some thoughts on all the topics tonight. Let's go with Hank first, since he's been on here the shortest tonight, talking about perception, talking about what matters more, what you did or how people perceive what you did, and then also talking about just communication, and if the way that someone perceives you or the way that you perceive them, does that determine how you decide to communicate with them?
I'm all about reality. Not the hell with perception.
Can you give us some examples?
You can fake shit like a bird. A wig. I want you to be real. Yeah, go on, show out, Logic. Go on, show out. But I'm also for trust but verified. So I know y'all was on y'all conspiracy there. I was gonna tell my man JP, man, I'm going to Arizona and we can go to Area 51 and see if we could discover some things.
Now, when you say trust but verify,
yes.
Okay, let's talk about like in a friendship. Okay, if someone does something, are you going to always be verifying, or are you just going to be like looking at reality, like, oh, okay, they just didn't answer my call, or they just didn't do this, but you're not going to add context?
If it's my friend, and of course I don't throw that word out lightly, so I'm going to trust what he's saying. They're saying or she's saying, so that won't be an issue. But if Kay tells me something, I'm gonna trust what she say, because I'm gonna try to give her the benefit of the doubt for a word, but I'm gonna verify what you're talking about. I'm not just gonna go off of what you're saying. It's fact.
Who, me?
So yes, you.
So anything? How long have you been watching any of the shows? Have you ever looked up anything that I've said to verify it?
No, because I don't trust you.
So then why wouldn't you verify it?
I don't have no reason to. I don't. A lot of stuff you say, I don't believe. I just think you talk about.
Like what? Give me one, since there's a lot.
Well, your statistics on marriage.
What about them? Which statistic did I say?
Well, that one and the one on child support
Wait,
and the
but which
laws.
one? Which statistic did I give on marriage?
Well, the marriage rate for Black people. You was talking about it on the Thursday show.
What did I say?
You felt like it wasn't you felt like it was higher than it was. And he was trying
What
to tell
did
you
I say it was, and what is it?
Well, it's like about a 50%, 51% rate for Black people.
What? Let's just. I'm not even going to address that. What did I say it was? Because people just make stuff up that I never said, and this is just really interesting.
I thought you thought it was way lower than that. That's what that was what I heard you say. Now I could be wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay, there's
it's
nothing
really
wrong with
interesting. That. It is so funny to see how many people will be like, "You were wrong," and I'll be like, "About what?" And I'm not saying I'm not saying. I mean,
don't do it. We already went over that one time. Said you're never wrong on the show. We already proved that
because
wrong.
we're usually talking about opinions, Hank. But I'm just saying, when somebody says, "I never agree," I'm like, "Oh, cool. About what?" And they're like, "The thing you said about this and that." I'm like, "I never said that. What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Well, maybe it was it." Nope, but not that either. What did I say? So people just make things up based on not liking my tone. It's really interesting to witness because, Hank, if there were so many things that you think I'm so wrong about, it would be super easy to name a few that actually happened.
Well, I also think you was wrong how you came on the sports show and base your opinion on what we was talking about Sierra.
You didn't like my tone, that's fine, but I'm talking about
it wasn't just your tone. It's just we're stating our opinions, and we have the right to express our opinions about how we feel about. Hold on, okay. We have our right to express our opinions about how we feel about Sierra and what she was doing, but yet you making it sound like we totally wrong for having that opinion.
No, we're not doing. You said you go with reality. It's not making it sound like. It's like what actually happened. Making it sound like is now you talking about perception. Making it sound like isn't what you just said about how you only go with reality. So let's talk about what actually happened. Mm-hmm. I stated my opinion just as y'all were stating yours. So what's the issue?
The issue is you came on the show and made and
on the show.
Doesn't matter. However you got on the show, you was on the show, stated your opinion, right? And then make us feel, make a statement like
make you feel. I thought you said you only feel in reality.
Making statements that was made that like we was wrong for saying what we said.
I made you feel. See how that's perception? I thought that reality was all you dealt with.
No, it is. But the reality is you came up on the show.
You make me
the reality is you came up on the show. The reality is you express your opinion about what you felt about our opinions. About what we was talking about Sierra. Okay, so we have every right to say what we share our opinion about Sierra.
I never said you don't have any opinion that you can't. I never said that.
Yes, you did. You did say that. You did say that, and that chick came and checked you.
Oh, I stated my opinion.
Reality is, but let's deal with reality.
He Sierra that I know he's stuck on this. This was like months ago. But you just said you stated
how long it was ago it happened.
You stated your opinion, y'all's opinions. I stated mine. That's the reality. Now, when you start coming in and talking about how I made you feel, that's your perception. And I'm just calling it out that you said you don't deal in perception. You said you only deal in reality. So the only reality here is
you came up on the show being
and stated my opinion. That's the reality.
But you also not only stated your opinion, you made it feel like our opinions.
Made you feel like perception.
Yes, ma'am, you did.
Made you feel like perception.
So again, I was in reality. Doesn't mean perception is not real.
In reality,
some people's perception could be considered what they consider real. That's what you did. So did you or did you not do this, Kay?
Hank, I have said multiple times
so that's
that
the reality.
I stated my opinion, but if we're talking about reality,
we're talking about the reality is that you was being disrespectful.
You are talking about how you felt and you're deeming it disrespectful or whatever, but that's your perception. You said you deal only in reality. So you're sitting here telling me about your perception. That is not reality. That's perception. And we all know If we're talking about,
now, of course, according to Kay, it wasn't disrespectful because she felt like it wasn't disrespectful. But yet another woman,
reality, like
another woman had to come up on the show and check you on it because you was being disrespectful.
I'm dealing in reality, like you said.
I understand, but you're still being disrespectful.
I'm dealing in reality, like you said.
I agree, but you're still being disrespectful with
I'm dealing in reality, like you said. You said you don't do perception.
Thank you for that. We appreciate that. But you was being disrespectful on the show.
That's your perception. I thought you only dealt in reality.
That's reality.
Oh.
Because if that's the case, I wasn't the only one who witnessed that and experienced that.
I see that this has really been weighing heavy on your mind for the past 5 months or whatever that happened.
Because it was good because I survived Kay, and I felt that, and I was
we
like,
have come into
man,
a new
I
year,
can actually say that
and you
I survived Kay. I survived Kay.
All I'm saying is that it's cool, it's whatever. All I'm saying is that you cannot make statements like I only deal in reality and then talk about how somebody made you feel.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be it would be you dealing with perception at that point and your feelings. That's just me just saying. Now, if you're saying I deal in perception and reality, fine. But you came on strong. I only deal with reality. And now you're talking about how I made you feel. Which one is it, Hank?
Facts that you can, my perception, whatever you want to call it, my reality.
Can you put the thing up where there's the 3 different words? I forgot which words you had. It was like facts, opinions, theories. Yeah, there are different words, but you cannot say I only deal. My job, my goal is to just, and it's no hard feeling. There are no hard feelings at all. But my goal is to help people see that just because you come in strong saying, I only deal in reality, but then 3 seconds later talk about how you were feeling based on something that I said, which your feelings are valid, fine. But that negates your argument about you only dealing in reality.
No, it doesn't.
Because that was your opinion. Everyone didn't think I was being disrespectful.
Yes, it did. Everybody on that show did. Everybody on that show did.
Again,
everybody on that show did.
Everyone on Earth.
Everyone that was on every guy that was on the panel did. Matter of fact, even a young lady came up. A young lady came up and even said something. I mean, she did. She checked you.
Are you good?
She had to check you. She had to check you. No, come give me a hug. Let's hug it out.
I don't want to touch you.
Hey, Hank, you need to give her a hug and a kiss. I think she got you, bro.
I ain't gonna do that.
Look, I gotta be fair. She got you. She using your words and she got you saying, I feel. No, bro, I'm with you. You my dude. But I'm
cool. Hey, Logic, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I don't have no problem. Look, I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. But like I said, what happened was the reality. Reality is what she did.
Your perception. What was your perception?
Reality.
See how funny these words are? Because it was literally.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about when people keep doing that whole like your truth reality. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Hey, I'm with you, bro.
Well, let me not say that.
Hey, look. Hey, matter of fact, I think I'm gonna do this on Keep It Funky Friday. That before you say anything, everybody got to either say this a theory, fact, or opinion, and then so now everybody understand how to take it though. So I'm telling you, because if you rephrase your argument, right, Hank? But before you say that statement, you got to pick one of these 3 up here. Which one would it go up under?
Opinion.
Several times. Oh, opinion.
Okay, and see now I can respect that though. Now, if she understands his opinion, the conversation will go differently.
Yes, because opinion is perfectly fine, but he was saying it was facts.
So, no, we good because he had
to say what I said.
No, good logic. I like what you just did.
I'm with you though, but see, sometimes we have to this because we go to these panels, we do it a lot. So sometimes we need some ground rules that now, if I tell you, hey, I'm coming up, this is my opinion, and then now address it. So now we'll perceive it. We should try it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Kayla, do you like my beard? But before you
I
answer
think it's very interesting.
before you answer my question, you got to say, see, and she still can't follow directions. Look,
I answer. You said, "Do I like your beard?" I said, "It's interesting."
I think he wants you to pick one of the three theories.
Fact or an opinion?
Opinion.
My opinion is that it is a well-groomed kept beard.
Now that's a fact, baby. I'm playing. I'm just saying we just got it. Hey, but I'm just saying, you know what? And then you see how more constructive our conversation would be if we have some type of dynamics in that it consists.
Okay.
Logic, absolutely. Like if he would have just said it was my opinion, I would have been fine. But when he said it's reality and facts and all this, and he doesn't do, hold on, I'm talking to Logic. If he just says it's reality and facts and everyone, oh my goodness, and all this, I only deal in reality, but then continuously talks about his feelings and opinions and perceptions, then that's just not true. I mean, I'm like I said, no hard feelings. It's just not. So Logic, I like how you recalibrated. You put us back on the right track. So
because I like my man Hink, I can't let him continue with that. That's my dude.
Hey, Logic, I know what I'm dealing with.
I plead the fifth. I ain't gonna say that on that. Now ain't nobody got nothing to say.
No, so we're gonna let's do some final thoughts. I want to get everyone's final thought. We got a lot of people on the panel, so we go give everybody 90 seconds, and I'm gonna put my timer on just so we can keep this cute. And we'll start with Definite G, and we'll go around and get everybody's final thoughts on reality versus perception. Get just everything that we talked about tonight in terms of how people view you, their perception of you, how us as people perceive things in our society and relationships and the community and all of that. So Definite G, let's start with you. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'm sticking to what I said. Perception is not reality because it can be manipulated and through by any means, any medium, through your personal experiences, or you just, don't give a crap, So it's really, the thing is, you have to, when it comes to developing your perception to try to at least align with reality, it will have to, again, you'll have to see it for yourself and see things for what it really is instead of what you want it to be. And I wanted to answer JP's question. The fact, the only fact that I learned in school, 1 + 1 = 2.
So sorry. Moving on to who's next?
I go. Yeah. So, like I said, pretty much, I think everybody on the panel made great points. Like I said, your perception can be true or false depending on the information you have that you perceive or the lack of information. And I think this was an interesting conversation. So.
Well, we appreciate you coming here. It has some definitely interesting, perspectives. All right, now we're gonna go on to Hink. What's up? Final thoughts.
Well, I'm just glad I was able to come up on you ladies' show and interact with you ladies, and even you, Kayla and Kay.
We can't hear you, Kayla.
Wait, what did you say, Hink? I got a call from someone. What did you say? Sorry.
I was just saying I was glad to be able to survive you and able to be on your shows.
Yes, thank you so much for supporting. I mean, you survived. I just, I'm not gonna say anything else because I'm gonna let it be that. But yeah, thank you for always supporting. Thank you for calling in. I hope that like the thing with the Lapeef Sports from many, many moons ago is settled in your heart. I hope
I'm good. I'm good with it. I just know what I'm dealing with.
Okay. I know what I'm dealing with too.
Definitely interesting having you here tonight. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Hank.
Right on.
Oh,
Nice.
Hi guys. How are you?
Hi. You've been waiting patiently. You haven't said anything, I don't think. No,
I was just listening. It's not all the time that your voice needs to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, your perception can be reality, and reality can craft your perception. I don't think it's fixed. I think it's fluid. That's it. Well, that was silent.
Wait, what?
Did you not hear what I just said?
I did hear what you said. I didn't know if you were finished.
That was literally it. That's my position on it.
Okay. Well, I want you to definitely come back next time. I know we didn't have like as much time to really get to flush out a lot of your feedback, but appreciate it. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay, great.
Yeah,
so shout out to Atlanta. And then are you from the UK?
Yes, I am.
Okay, where?
I'm from North London.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, shout out to North London.
Thank you.
So definitely next week we will save a spot for you right here.
That's very appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Well, what's up?
And then we have Mr. Logic to end us off.
Yeah, I just got a question. You ever been to Gloucester?
Gloucestershire or
yeah.
Gloucester? Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. I was there for 6 months, man. Y'all got some good beer, y'all pubs, and y'all what y'all call it? Fish and chips?
Yeah, that's correct.
Banging. I was in there drunk the whole time.
Of course. It wouldn't be any other way.
Likewise. But yes, no, thank you for having me, and I look forward to being back on the platform.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
All right, take care, guys.
Okay, awesome.
Bye.
So ending it off with our fellow Young Logic.
Thank you, baby.
I'm gonna start calling him Lil Logic. Like little baby.
Because I'm short.
Like little baby, like Lil Logic.
So hold up. You said to me you're gonna shame me in Houston because my height?
Who said anything about shame you? I said I was gonna dunk on your ass. That's what I said. I was just kidding.
Damn, that's funny. I'm telling you. Oh no, I might wear some. You know what? I got something. This one I'm gonna wear in Houston.
Oh gosh. Are you getting your heels?
Yeah. See, look.
I knew you were gonna get those platforms.
Yeah, I have to though. It make me seem taller.
Okay.
So look at it. Don't say that about my height because I get really emotional about that. But yeah, hey, good show. I kind of love y'all show. I love y'all topic, and thank y'all for letting me up here, and thank you for letting me show my plants.
Yes, they look very healthy. So I'm glad to see that you're a plant parent.
And that's great that you do that with your kids. For real, it is.
And teaching them how to cultivate natural things that they'll always need. You know,
my kids are super duper duper dope. You know where I get that from?
Super
God
duper.
himself.
God? You calling Anton God?
Anton? Wait, what are we talking about Anton for?
Super duper dope.
Wait, Kayla, what?
Okay.
She said it, not me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all thought that like Anton owned that or something? He doesn't come to my mind when I hear that.
Super duper is definitely a phrase that has been out for.
No, but when he said
I know he doesn't. Nah, he doesn't live rent free nowhere in my head. So when I hear that, I don't think about him. Sorry.
I'm just saying. But hey, final thoughts though. Actually, you know what I'm saying? If you can't understand the difference between your perception and your reality, research. Research is the key. People give opinions a lot in these articles, and a lot of times black people take it to be a fact, and it's not a fact. So
why do you say black people? Okay.
Because you got to realize the demographic that I care about. So I'm not going to say all because I don't.
So you're saying just because you're more focused on black people.
Yes, I mean.
Okay. I thought you were saying like it's more exclusive to black people about not,
Well, it's kind of dangerous though too, but still. But the thing is that you got to be able to understand what's a theory, fact, opinion, and observation. That's a good one at the end. And then you got to be able to leverage that to actually do research. Don't take no article for face value. Always go in and look at their sources. And then if you see an article with no sources in it that give you some information, then we call that an opinion piece. So just understand that. And then if you and that's all I got to say on the topic. Good topic, good show. I don't know why she rolling her eyes at me. But I enjoyed y'all ladies. Y'all have a great day.
Who's rolling eyes?
Thank you for stopping by.
Who's rolling eyes? Logic, don't do this. You know we don't do that.
I'm playing.
Yeah. Oh, the plants are on your microphone.
Oh yeah, see, look, it is.
You're a plant lover. Oh, that's nice.
I know. See y'all later.
Bye, Logic. Kayla.
Well, that was very interesting. And all I want to say is,
oh my goodness.
F you, JR. I just wanted to say F you, JR, because JR was talking a lot of smack at the beginning of the show about how the show was going to go. And
exactly.
Boom.
I think, Kayla, that we need to do more. Like the topic you were like hinting at, we'll talk about it. Because I think
yes, girl, I can get all the way up into it when we start talking about like misconceptions about the government, conspiracies, misconception about private equity and VC, venture capitalists. And I'm ready to get into all of that. So we'll definitely produce a great show like that for you guys. And I already know the back channel is going to be popping because everybody has something to say about conspiracies. Everybody has something to say about the government. Everybody has something to say about their favorite politician and their favorite company and all these different things. So let's get into it. It's going to get spicy.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll do that next week or something.
Kay didn't have to flame broil.
Kayla, why did you repeat flame broil? I was not flame broiling anyone. But my thing is, if you say you only deal in reality, not perceptions or opinions, you only deal in reality, then you cannot start talking about your perceptions and your feelings. That is the complete opposite of only. And you know what? The thing is, humans are human. It's okay to perceive. It's okay to feel a way. It's okay to perceive things as disrespectful. It's okay to do all of that. It's okay to say, okay, look, I feel that you're disrespectful. I feel that you're whatever. But to say that that's a fact, that's where we get, a little bit,
it's not a little tricky.
Yeah, we can't
do
we
can't. Our final super chats. Construction. Oh no, that's not it. Where'd it go? Construction icon.
Oh man, look, we're gonna bring up Kayla.
Look. Oh my gosh. Oh, good googly moogly.
No, I'm not coming up. Y'all good.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Well.
Oh, I thought you were gonna what you heating up? What is that? The microwave? Beep, 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 beep. Who's
trying to figure out why this person is up when they have a tennis tournament tomorrow? Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Oh, I thought that he was gonna do some kind of song or something.
Nah, I guess not. He only had one act prepared for tonight.
I tried to tell you, Kay she was liking it. She was looking forward to it.
I mean, I saw that he was in the back. I was like, look, JR trying to send us off with a song.
No, sorry. Here it is. Our final super chat. Person going green, construction icon. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. I know I got cut off earlier, but again, housekeeping. Make sure you get your tickets to the show on the 23rd, Houston, Texas. They are already halfway sold out, so get them while you can. And then also JR is here for some other housekeeping notes. JR.
No, I was just going to say that Construct Icon was the one that did that wood logo of me.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah, so he's the one that did it. So make sure you guys check him out.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was great. So thanks, Construction Icon. So cool. But yeah, so I was really shocked. I mean, I didn't know it was gonna go so left with the whole JP thing, but then I also didn't expect the whole thing with Hank either. So there was
sometimes people have some things to get off their chest that they've been holding in for 6 months.
But you know what?
More or less.
That's okay.
It's fine.
I'm here to exchange energy, and if that's gonna help someone, let's do it. Why not? So, Chicago Rilla, I don't know what happened to you, but I guess we'll see you next week.
I know. I don't know what happened either.
I have no idea what happened to him, but it is what it is. But yeah, so you guys definitely make sure that you are subscribed so that you can see, you know, all the content and everything we have coming for next week. Oh, there's Chicago. There he goes. He says he's been holding on to shit for 6 months, or holding in shit for 6 months. I hope not actual shit, because that would be very dangerous. But we appreciate you, Willa, and we're going to make sure that you get up here.
Look at Hank still in the chat talking about.
Hank is trolling. And Logic is doing some hashtag called hashtag bring JP back. JP, we never got rid of JP. He just had to go, didn't he? I don't remember.
I thought JP.
He's not in the back chat, so he's not coming back up. But yeah, Chicago Rilla always calling me Aunt Viv. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's his favorite thing for me now. But yeah, I'm excited. I thought today went good.
I did too.
I thought today went so good. So you guys, we love you. We love you. We love you so much. We will see you guys on Thursday on Let's Talk, and it's going to be a good one this week. So make sure y'all are there, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, right here on Lapeef Let's Talk. JR?
Oh my God.
Y'all, this is what we deal with. We'll see y'all next week.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I know y'all like that shit. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Tell me about it. What happened last night?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Y'all be weak in the knees. Stand up.
Oh my God.
Y'all be weak. Y'all be weak in the knees. Stand up.
Oh my God.
Stand up.
I'm definitely gonna play this in Houston.
Oh my God.
So get the crowd turned.
Oh my God.
The remix.